Hey yo, check Chuffy 1-2. I'm Ganji Kid. I'm Gravekipper. I'm Scotty Hottie. I'm the Super Chuffer.
There are so many local specialties in Sumeru. I want to buy more.
It's Genshin Impact. That sound alright, does it? That sound alright? Let me have a listen. That sound alright, does it? That sound alright? Let me have a listen. Yeah, it sounded alright to me. I mean, I sounded really different from how I normally talk when I did that, so I probably shouldn't do the sound check in a comedy voice. Oh, it sound alright, does it? Or does it sound alright? Or does that sound alright? Or I won't know, because comedy voice sound check, so. Today we're doing Genshin Impact, of course. We've got out here in Sumeru, look. Avina there's in her green, her Adventurers Guild green. Lemta, there. Is dressed in her Emerite mercenary clothes, Lemta.
There are so many local specialties in Sumeru. I want to buy more.
And
Don't you remember your adventure plans, my lady?
that wasn't me saying that, that was Lemta. And Lisa here, sorry, Rosie here. She's wearing, we'll talk about her clothes in a
Work
second.
hard and live each day to the fullest.
That's it, you chip into the conversation.
That is what...
Ningguang, Candace,
There are
Rosie,
so many local specialties
Lisa.
in Sumeru. I want to buy more.
Oosh, the Mommies team. They're my most grown-up characters, it seems. And it's time for Lisa, all in purple here. Mondstadt and Lisa. Apparently Lisa grew up around these parts, studied at the academia. And it's time for Lisa to make a comeback. She's going to get herself a nice green set of clothes. That's what's going to happen. So I've got squad mommies.
There are so many local
The most grown-up
specialties
tall
in
ones I've got.
Sumeru. I want to buy more.
And ja. Look at this. Second blooming. Re-encounter the Witch of Purple Rose in a land rich with her namesake. Should we probably get a thumbnail? Oh, my camera cuts off, doesn't it, just there? Chuffer. Wrong pointing. That'll do for a thumbnail. There we go. Use that. There's primos. About 20. There's a sobriquet undershade character costume at stake. And some other stuff. Nice. Green Lisa. Come to me. I do like the fashion in Genshin Impact, you know. I'm interested. Whenever I get a new character, I look through, look at them the way they're dressed and all the stuff. I never did it with Lisa, really. Never really took a big notice of that strange... Is that a Sumeru Rose?
Today's no good for going out.
On the end of her hat
Did
there.
I say that yesterday as well?
And is that a Sumeru Rose on her hip? She's got a connection with Sumeru, you see.
Specialties in Sumeru. I want to buy more.
So that's what we're doing today. We're going to do this Lisa quest. It's on my quest list. A librarian's long and carefree vacation. That's what we're going to do. Starts off just up there. And here she is. Before that. What do you mean before that? What do you mean before that? Well, just a little bit before that. Not like loads before that. Just a little bit. Super Chuffer channel. Make sure you get on that on YouTube. The Super Chuffer channel. You're probably only here because you've seen the Super Chuffer channel. Hello, Bob. How are you? I still haven't got on YouTube in the daytime this week. Rough today. Just forget it. But I've got so many plans and so many ideas and videos. I mean, we haven't talked about Miss Louisiana Housewife yet, have we? Who, you know, some might say creating a YouTube channel with your children, bit of fun. Bit of fun, actually, to be a fun parent doing a YouTube channel with your children. That could be fun, couldn't it? Doing junk food mukbangs like Nikocado Avocado. Maybe not the best role model for your children. Maybe not. I mean, if you're struggling with your own obesity, maybe, I don't know, if you're struggling with your own obesity, this is the sort of thing I do on my other channels, so I'm not doing it today on my Genshin Impact playthrough channel, thank you very much. But if you're struggling with your own obesity, then it might not be a good idea to teach your young children to revel in it.
They look good too. You want to try some? Let me taste this a little. I ain't never tasted macaroni
And it's
before.
fresh too. Ooh, feel how hot it is.
Maddie, don't put that on. Don't burn me, girl.
You don't get mama. I'm just playing.
Okay, she's like a great big Nico avocado character, but with kids involved. So I shouldn't eat that if I were you. That doesn't. Number one, it doesn't look good. As mac and cheese goes, that doesn't even look like mac and cheese. It looks like it's all, doesn't it? It looks like it's all, it's gone. Looks like it's dried out. It's gone a bit. I don't know what the word is, curdled, is it? Anyway, I wouldn't eat that. 2 reasons. 1, it doesn't look very good to eat. But 2, you need to stop eating all this junk food. It's bad for your health. Look how obese you are. Not, oh, look at you fatty, ha ha ha, but it's bad for your health. I worry about you. You've got kids. You want to be around for them as they grow up. You don't want to be eating all that junk food like that. Not piles and piles of it like that. And certainly don't teach this young chuffer that it's such a good idea. Ha ha, let's have fun. Do you remember Mom? Yeah, I remember when we used to eat together. Yeah, I have to remember that because that's all I know of her now. She's dead. Anyway, Bob says, interesting one regarding kids. Would you still stream if you had kids? Would you feature them on your streams? Me personally, I would love to have kids. I need to find a woman who's smart enough to look after kids and stupid enough to let me get her pregnant. I'd love to have kids, yeah. I find it a bit, at the moment, what I'm trying to do in my life, and I imagine it might take another year or so, is really pull my shit together so I've got a routine, consistency, doing this media production, get somewhere with the podcast. You know, you don't have to have like £1 million in the bank, but, you know, a little bit of stability on the financial side. And then I might start looking for a date and a long-term, you know, I have to start thinking about settling down soon, otherwise it'd be too late really, won't it? But yeah, and what would I do about kids and streaming? Number one, kids would come first. So I imagine because I would be in the house, not away at work, I would lend a hand with quite a lot of the kids stuff. So if the kids were crying and, like, let's say I had a baby now and it started crying, then obviously I would leave what I'm doing here and go and deal with the baby. I might even have to have a few more of my old videos on ready to go just in case I have to go and deal with the baby. And then the other thing would be I'd hope to be in a relationship with a partner, so I'd hope to have their support when I'm doing my thing and I'll support them when they're doing their thing, sort of thing, because I could change my stream times. I could try and make a regular routine, for Christ's sake, for the first thing. But let's say they said, oh, on Monday we've got this and that to happen and, you know, kids come first, and I'll say, okay, we'll move this, we'll just move it. You know, I'd be flexible like that. I've had some experience in relationships where I've been around children. Like I've had a relationship with someone who's had their own children already, so I feel like I'm a good like parental unit. I feel like I'm a good balanced role model. Like, the only thing is my smoking would be really bad. I'd have to vape and start smoking completely outside. If I ever smoke, I'd have to go completely vaporized. That'd be an issue. And would I feature them in my streams? No, I wouldn't. They would probably want to be like most young kids. Like until you're sentient, you got no choice. So no, I wouldn't. I mean, you could see the baby. I'd say, look, I've had a baby. Here it is. But I wouldn't be like, okay, on today's episode, it's like changing a nappy, and then we're going to the zoo, and like I've done a vlog of it. I'd keep my family life and my kids' life, just like I'd let them have their own life, like a normal upbringing. I wouldn't expose them to the internet and have them worry about being exposed to the internet. As they grew up, when they hit about like 9 or 10 or something like that, and you know they had their own ideas, I would encourage and support their ideas. I don't know how I'd encourage and support them. I think this is the only way to do this, is to actually sit next to your child and make the video with them. I don't think I'd want them making their own media and putting it on YouTube, you know, as a 10-year-old. But then as you get probably around 14, 15, something like that, I'd say, okay, we can start letting you make your own choices. But, you know, we grew up in a world, I assume you did too, where your mistakes were not recorded and put on the internet. So, like, if I could show you the videos of when I was 14, there are some content creators who have got videos of when they're 14, and it doesn't really matter. It's not really a negative. But I would cringe at some of the things I did when I was 14, even 16, 17. You know, I would probably think, oh God, I'm glad I don't have those videos up. But having said that, I've got videos from when I started YouTube and other videos since I've been on YouTube where I've not done my best work and I've just been me. And it can probably be considered a bit, maybe some people might cringe at the ASMR. I don't know, like, you can't really hide the past, and I don't look back at the old stuff and go, oh God, I can't believe that's still on the internet. I just don't care. So maybe they wouldn't either. But there's a lot of negativity in dealing with stuff that comes with being on the internet. So I wouldn't force that on them. No, I'd explain it. I'd be able to explain it a lot more deeply than some other parents as well. about what you have to deal with about being on the internet, and about the way playing to an audience. When young kids are growing up, they have to do it in school, about being popular, about learning to fit into a group. And if you have this other layer of an international audience looking at you and you attempting to moderate your content for an audience, similar to moderating your behaviour in a group, I wouldn't want that to mess with their head either. I think that would be a net negative overall. So, I got this, I'm dressed today, look, I'm already starting to get bits on me. What's that? The light is picking up the thread. There we go. Got a Planet Express and a blazer. It's a new decision I've definitely made, which is I don't have to do it today because we're doing Genshin Impact. I could wear a hoodie for Genshin Impact, but I'm going to start dressing more smartly for, I need to have less of a, okay, so we watched Darkside Phil, don't we? And he said the other day that, he just who he is, and he's just scruffy, and that's how he is, and it's, he's not making an effort. And I thought, well, nor am I, and that's not on. If I'm going to turn up and you're going to look at me, I'm going to make a little bit of an effort. Not huge, but I'm just starting to make a little bit of an effort to just try and define. I probably wouldn't walk down to the shops in a blazer all the time, but I'm broadcasting and I'm doing a stream, so I think I might start. I don't know. Fashions can change, can't they? But it's just a little bit of an idea to just try and. Lots of streamers have unique looks. Yeah, exactly. A look. That's it. A look, and not to go too wide with it. Like, I'm not trying to dress up like an astronaut or anything, but I wanted to create some sense of smartness. And I thought I could wear a tie and, like the bank manager smartness. Do you have to you don't have to dress. I assume you're not even wearing your trousers. I assume you out there in Chatland are not even fully clothed. I always assume it. But no, I thought instead of a tie is a bit formal, isn't it? A tie is too much. And I've got the hat, so that's going to preclude a tie. When my hair starts to fall out and the Asmongold thing happens, you probably won't see because the hat will cover it, so that's fine. But the blazer, it adds this. We do it with other episodes when we've done it with Thus, and I did it with Madly I McCann, this is what I was trying to show you before we got started. We did the Madly I McCann episode of Thus. We did it, and I'm wearing the blazer in that. And the combo of smartish blazer, but loose, chill. Like, you can't see that because I'm sat down the t-shirt, but you know what I mean? The combination, like Rex, yes, exactly. Lex Friedman is always in his suit. Yes, exactly. And if I want to aspire to create our media product to be sponsorable, me turning up not even having had a wash and wearing a hoodie, not acceptable to me. I don't mind about my guests, I don't mind about the rest of the world, but for me, the host, I'm going to start making an effort, and it's going to be not huge, but it's going to be, like I said, what I want is to appear smart in the subconscious. In your subconscious, I want to appear like the smart host. A bit like when I was a hairdresser. I wouldn't have gone overboard with my fashion, but at the same time, I wouldn't have worn a full suit with the double-breasted and the tie. That would be too much. So yeah, a bit like that. I'm going to... Steve's always in a black... I imagine all of Steve's wardrobe is black. Does it come in black? Would probably be, I imagine, but yeah. So yeah, you don't have to get a dress code. Although there is another thing that I want to do with this on stream today. We might get to it, we might not. I'll open up Amazon and it will show my address, and that'll be a problem. Okay, it's not showing the address, that's good. I was on Amazon the other day and I had a look at this. Look. Right, behind me, I wonder if I can get you to see this. If I switch to, what? Browsing fisheye. This one. Are any of these the right camera? Are any of these correct? Camera, edit, transform, reset the transform. That'll do. And properties. Not properties, you chuffer. Filters. Turn off the filter. So that's what's behind me now. The chroma key, the green screen. I've got some paper. I've got a stand. We can change the curtains in the future. That's a bit more of a costly thing, but we can do it. But at the moment, I've got green screen. That's working. That's fine. We're also considering jazzing up the background behind it, and sometimes having green screen, sometimes not. But check out this as a concept. At the top of green screen, what you can't see on the green screen, which you could actually, I've got a second camera for this. This is exactly what camera 2 is for. Come on, Scotty Hottie. It's time to work your stream like a proper streamer. Let's go back to the Genshin Impact main one, and let's have the camera 2. I shouldn't. This isn't even content, is it? Chatting about what's going on. I always do it. I always do it. Where's my second camera now, you chuffer? Should be called HDMI 2. Have I turned it off? Have I deleted it? Have I deleted HDMI? No, there it is, right. Bang. No signal? No signal, mate. I'll give you no signal. I'll no signal you in a minute. Which way's on? Which switch? Okay, that's on now, yeah? Signal, yeah, there you go. So on top of the green screen, there's two of me now. This will be confusing, but on top of the green screen, and this is what this is for, isn't it? This is what this camera's for. Check it out. So we can, like, you know, have more, and I can point it the other way in the other room. But anyway, look, top of the green screen, it's got a clip. Now it's fallen off. See that clip? Okay. You'll see where this is going in a minute. It's got a clip. Oosh! That's in the way of the camera. That's in the way, isn't it? It's not ideal. Right, that was worth it though. That was worth it just to show you the clip. So now I've got to get my brain on. I'm going to assign all these cameras buttons, and I'll, you know, in the long run when I'm saying, oh, I definitely want these things on buttons, I'll have them all on buttons. But let's get rid of it now. On OBS. Where are you, chuffer? There you are. Okay. So the clips, and of course I now need my chuffing green screen back. I want my green screen back. Put it back. On Amazon you can go here and you can buy a custom flag. Now I didn't measure that behind me. I need to get a tape measure and measure it. We'll look at the woman in a second. I just want to finish. I'll do, because if I don't do this now, you'll never. It won't go in my brain. It won't come out my brain. Look at what you can do. Look at what you can do. I'll show you what you can do. You can make your own flag. Look, you can make your own banner, and it's like £15. That's not a lot of money. Like, it's a lot of money in some ways, but in other ways it's not. You know, in terms of what we can do to improve the stream on a smaller budget without spending hundreds of pounds. You know, without, like, this is a little thing that actually makes a big impact, doesn't it? Because it's a background. So I can have Hu Tao, I can have Asmongold. I don't want Asmongold really, but I can have me. I can have anything. We could do it as a patron goal. We can do it like, I can have more than one flag. Because once we've used one for a while, you know, then we can change it. Like, I can actually just have any background I want, not green screen, but I think it'd be quite nice to have an actual physical hanging flag of like Genshin Impact or whatever the chuff is, just, and it fit up with those clips. That's why I showed you the clips. So you can do that. You can do your font. This might be fun. We should do one. We should do one on stream, and then we should. What I have to do is I should have got it prepared really. I have to, and I didn't do the other thing I was going to do today, which is to have a picture in the frame when we started. Damn it. But, yeah, that's an idea, and it's a good idea, isn't it? We can make custom clothing, custom... It's a bit of a shame, because I would like to make a custom t-shirt, and then, you know, you all buy it, and you go, hey, merchandise, but these days, everyone can just make their own on Amazon, can't they? So, you know, you can get a custom t-shirt of me just by screenshotting me now, and then just putting it on your own t-shirt. So, I shouldn't have said that. Should charge you for them. But anyway, yeah, we can do our own custom banners, and then they'll come in the post, and then when they arrive in the post, that'll be good. We'll put them up and it'll be fun, and it'll be like a different, instead of green screen all the time, which is nice for when we're doing what we're doing now, but we can do some custom banners in the background. Could be like a Genshin background. Hi, I'm streaming from inside the cat. That's a good idea. I'm inside the cat's tail. That would be nice, actually. Yeah, that's clever. That's a clever idea, yeah. I could probably achieve that. Do you know what? I could probably achieve that by getting a screenshot of the cat, not a screenshot, but like recording a section of the cat's tail in the game, and then looping it and putting it behind me in some way. I'd have to get the right... I'll tell you what I could do. In the longer term, I could invent, for the other side of the room, where we're going to use it as a bit of a set, I could actually invent some backdrop setting for that. I could create some sort of backdrop thing, green screen or otherwise, or actually printed like the cat's tail, yeah. Yeah, going back to this woman, which we're not allowed to, I can't deviate any further than just to introduce the concept. I found her on the internet and I'm like, what are you doing? And I would have done like a 20-30 minutes, you know, react, but I don't want to be too mean because there's children involved, but at the same time, children are involved, so you have to like worry about their health and their upbringing. And like, I'm sure she's a very like loving mom in lots of ways, but this encouragement and support and, you know, celebration of this junk food. Oh, we only have it at the weekends. Oh, we don't have it all the time. Oh, we just, you know, we're not, you know, well, I would suggest that this is probably a net negative on their health and mental well-being. It might be a net positive on your financial well-being, but a net negative on their health. And I'm not even going into the vegans, but, you know, tipsy tacos. What are tipsy tacos? I shouldn't ask. I shouldn't ask. I mean, it's all right for a little treat, isn't it? A tacos and that. And the child is only eating a small, you know, he's only having a tacos. But the adult there is having quite a lot of the tacos. And being a role model again, like what I say, is important, you know, being a role model to your kids. Like, look at her shoveling it in. I don't think it's being a very good role model. They've got a background. They've got a hanging background, so you don't see their cluttered house. So that was today's introduction. I wanted to say that watch Thus, but I didn't get round to it. Didn't mention it. But if you go to lives, Thus, Madly I'm McCann, Forensic Psychology in 2023. That's our latest Thus on the Super Chuffer channel, the main channel there. And actually it's gone quite well, I think. I was a bit worried halfway through when I felt like I wasn't like, we're not going to dig up loads and loads of new evidence, are we? Because like, we're not detectives and there isn't loads of new, but to get Steve's perspective on it was important because he's a forensic psychologist, so I thought that was important. That was good. And also on top of it, it was kind of nice to have some of the ideas that I didn't want to put my ideas on top and say, this is what I think, agree. But he did say some things and I thought, oh, I agree with that. Oh, I think that too, actually, yeah. So we covered Madly I'm McCann, which is a good one. And I'll tell you what's good about it as well is we've got 423 subscribers, looking to push that number up. But we've already hit 360 views. So I know it's not like, I don't know exactly that's me talking. It's not like huge numbers or anything. Yeah, I get it. But like, we're building and we're growing. And to get the same number of views, I'm going to have to let that run for like 30 seconds now so YouTube thinks it's good. Give it a like. Look, I'll give it a like. Like my own video. The concept is that if you're getting a roughly the same number of views as subscribers, that's quite good, isn't it? It's not a negative, that's a positive, even if it's smaller numbers. If I was getting, you know, like when you get the bigger numbers of subscribers, it tends to happen that you don't, like you might have 10,000 subs and only get like 2,000 views regularly on a video, something like that. You know, it might dwindle, but at the moment it's quite positive for me, and I think we're doing quite well there. So you've got your top chat replay on the side of the screen, you're all there, and comments flooding in, which is cool. You know, I can't really like interesting comments, and I can't really say much about them. I just like, I press like, yeah, because they're interesting comments. Like, yeah, so that's a cool episode. The week after this next Monday is going to be Red Dwarf review, but I've got some more ideas for this. We're going to be doing more stuff in the future. It's going well. So yeah, check that out. Make sure you subscribe to me on the Super Chuffer channel, which you all are, of course. So I'm seeing palpable growth. No matter the scale, I think it's such a good feeling. Yeah, what it is it like you hope for exponential growth. You hope to sort of take off and, you know, start to curve up. But I think the way I've been on YouTube over the years, and I think I actually wonder whether I'm shadow banned in some way. And the fact that I don't really moderate, you know, I talked about pedos, I've just said it then. You know, people go, oh, there's these words and we can't say these words. And, you know, I just do what I want, say what I want. Is the belly dance still happening? Well, I had COVID, so I didn't invite anyone round. But yes, in principle, yes. This room now needs another tidy up. I've made it a mess again. And yes, all those things that I said. You know how, the other thing for me is it might take some time for me to sort of build up the courage. But they will happen. It's not like I say it's going to happen, then it happens the next day. But they will, like, in the same principle, we've got Steve on, we've established the podcast. Like, that's something last year I said would happen, and now it has happened. We're there doing it. So, yeah, yes and yes. And for the growth, yeah, as long as it's going upwards. But what we really need is there's a limit on how, like, I don't know if there is a limit. Maybe I end up just having to do it as a hobby if it doesn't get monetized. But it needs to grow to the point of monetization within a framework of time where I feel like I can keep doing it. You know, if like 10 years down the line we're at 999 subscribers and I can't quite get that 1,000 and I can't quite monetize, you know, well, 10 years is too long for that. Having said that, I need to revise the Patreon, which I think is actually going to be our future, because I've already got some quite... I'm really grateful for 4 patrons at £70 a month. That is fucking loads to me. And it's the sort of like... The problem with the $1 sign patron, the $1 patron, is you could get 100 patrons and I still don't have enough money to make a video a month. You know, £100 a month isn't paying my bills, isn't paying my mortgage, isn't paying my food bill. So I can't be a professional media producer at £100 a month. But there's 100 people who want a video. That's what it was like when I used to have the ASMR, and I had a lot more £1 people than I did higher values. But the higher values allow us to actually make the media. So I'm looking to revise this. I don't know exactly what the value should be, but being off the $1 a month ones, and there's some people at the moment that are giving me $1 a month, so I'm not going to just completely bin them off. I'm like really grateful for it, but try and push it more towards a sort of like create membership media as well. Like me and Steve could have an extra chat each week for the members. Thus itself, I would like to move to its own channel when it builds up, so it can have its own membership system on there, so that Steve can have half the money, because it'd be a lot easier if it was on its own channel. But at the moment, yeah, I think Patreon might help, and I've got to revise what goes on there, and I've got to create some more tangible goals. And like you say about the belly dancer and stuff like that, I want to create the content and have people come for the content. I don't want to say like Phil does, give me £100 a month and then I'll get a belly dancer. But what I would like to do is to put a big picture goal on the horizon, where if we hit a certain target, then I could afford to XYZ. And this year it would be hire an Airbnb, hire 2 guests, invite Steve and somebody else maybe to join us, and spend a week or like 3 days at an Airbnb, like using it as a production base, so that Steve can come, a guest can come, someone else can come, and we can do a live. I mean, we could do it at my house, but it's a long way for everyone to come. Like maybe I go to them and hire an Airbnb, like, you know, near them. Like, do you know what I mean? But do something like that, like create a live event where we do some production and create something out of it, whether it be 3 or 4 podcasts or vlogs and some sort of event. I'm even considering hiring out a hotel, maybe, like a. I can't afford the whole hotel, but we could hire out a room in a hotel and do a live thus panel. Could focus it around different things, and then if people wanted to come and join in, then they could stay in the hotel. Do you know what I mean? Like, we could do it that way. Yeah, different options, but we could put something like that on as a big goal, and then the more medium goal would be you're helping to produce the content, and we've got things like belly dancers going on and stuff like that. That's what it should be, really. And then a monthly, maybe, members stream where ideas are bandied around and chat is had. Maybe that. Although at the same time, I don't want to paywall it. Like, you're here talking to me now. We have ideas like now, so I don't need to paywall that. But like, create some sort of extra piece of media for patrons to say, not just for us to say thank you, but that it's good media, that there's a reason to subscribe to it. Because I don't want to pay all our best stuff. That would be silly. But at the same time, I think it's important that we... like when I was doing ASMR, I wanted it out there for free because it was helping people. It's like saying I'm doing mental health support on the internet, but you have to pay me, and you have to, and I'm going to make sure you feel anxious, like you need it, and then you can pay me. And I've got a sponsor, and just get away. Like, if people are mentally suffering, I can't be sponsored for that. Like, I can't be like, oh, by the way, while you're getting your, relaxation time in, would you also like to consider this marketing aspect of life? Like, no. And I feel everyone who does ASMR, I'm not going to kick anyone around the park here, but everyone who does it knowing that there's anxious people watching and then using it as a marketing thing to make themselves some money, I don't really vibe with that. But what we're doing is different for that, better for marketing purposes, better for sponsorship, because I don't have to worry about people's mental health. Like, we're doing mental health support and mental health work through thus looking at psychology, but without having it pointed at the point of crisis, if that makes sense. So I feel more comfortable with sponsoring it, and then creating members content. I didn't want to be with ASMR, I wanted it to be out there to help people, didn't I? So I didn't want to make it exclusive. But with this, there can be some element of exclusivity, because there are some people that are supporting us more and want to produce and want to help, and that that can be put into that kitty and we can do some kind of, I don't know what it is, you know, but members content. I think that's fair now. Whereas before with the ASMR, I used to have Patreon and I felt guilty about charging people money extra on top of, because everything was out there on YouTube for free anyway. Like, how am I then going to say, right, yeah, you enjoy it so much for free, now give me your money? Like, that didn't seem right to me. But here I'm saying it's a different thing. It's a value proposition. Do you like the kind of content we make? Would you like to see us step up another level? Give us your money. But like, by supporting it in the same way as people support a Netflix or something like that, you know, Netflix are a big content creator. I'm a smaller content creator, but we're both doing the similar sort of job. So I can, well, similar sort of job, but yeah, we can do another documentary, you know. I can take the cameras out, we can go and meet people. Like the Dark Side Phil documentary is out there for me. Of all the people that can do like that, there's an opportunity and an idea. You know, I could crowdfund that and it would just be me, Steve, the cameras, maybe one or two other people that want to get involved, and we'd go and meet all the detractors, I suppose. We wouldn't get, Phil would never agree to do it, would he? Like, I'd contact him and I'd say, would you like to be in this film about you? But we'd tell the Dark Side Phil story with these sort of interviews, you know, one-on-one interviews with detractors, telling their bits, making it into a bit of a documentary film using clips from Phil's streams and stuff like that. That would make sense, wouldn't it? Like, you know, an idea like that could come to fruition through something like Patreon. Whereas before, the only reason I was able to make the road trip film was because I crowdfunded it. So that was a one-off crowdfund. But I think if I had a regular, like if I'm a media producer, I'm getting a certain amount of money per month to make media, then I can go out with my cameras and make media. Like, that would be fine. I think that's a good value proposition. So I feel less guilty about asking people for money then. So yeah, that's what I'd like to move towards. Just, you know, mentioning it, as well as using sponsorship. I want sponsorship to take the pressure off people from feeling they have to tip, but I want to be in a position where we can ask for super chats and tips on streams, because at the moment I can't even do that because we haven't got enough subscribers. So at the moment it's pushing the rock up the hill with no financial reward, and I'm spending money doing it. But at the same time, I enjoy doing it, and I wouldn't want to do anything else at the moment. So I'm happy with that. And yeah, the belly dancer is going to be, you know, the belly dancer, the demonologist, the people on the list, the game developer, they need to start being filtered in, and I need to start pulling my socks up and being more on it. And it will all happen this year. I'm expecting, I'm hoping, you know, as the days get lighter, because they do, don't they? The days get lighter and life gets easier, and you have a bit more time, it feels, to do stuff, and it's a bit nicer doing it. I'm hoping that as that happens this year, we step into this new phase in our media production journey where, as I said, everything I've just described then allows us to, not just me doing some more daytime streaming, but having those guests in, maybe going outside of this room, doing some stuff like that. If you notice as well with Lex Fridman, final point to make here, I don't have to bring him up. I don't have to bring it up. Lex Fridman, sometimes he has people come to him and he's in his usual set, so to speak. But other times he takes his camera kit, his microphones and whatever, and turns up at somebody else's gaff and just records them there. Like, you know, I need to be prepared to do that and have everything ready to go in a bag, so that if the belly dancer said, I've got a gig in Leeds, do you want to come and film it? I could say, yeah, what the hell? Let's do a live stream from Leeds, belly dancer evening, and I'll film it a bit and make a video out of it. You know, I need to be ready to do that. So it's all going hand in hand with my removing mental health support. Like, I take antidepressants, and I feel like I'm over needing them so much at the moment. So it's about, as I come off that and push this, there's like a funny balance, and I'm just finding the balance. And yeah, that's me doing the talking. So forget her and her chuffing mukbang. We should have done an episode on that on the B-side maybe. But get on Super Chuffer, where you'll see me talking a lot more chuff like this. And how I've done it again, haven't I? Look, 30 minutes into the episode, we haven't even played Genshin Impact yet. We haven't even played Genshin Impact. Talking about content is not making content. I need that as like a thing written up somewhere that I can look at. Talking about content is not making content. It is in a way. It's like all this stuff goes through my mind all the time, and it's keeping you informed of how we're rolling. I mean, you asked some of these questions, so I think that's okay. Yeah. Right, Lisa's on holiday. Up Treasure Street. The Sumeru Rose herself. Let's go get her green clothes. I don't know how it's going to happen, but this might be the last time you see Lisa in these purple clothes. The green clothes, I like green as a colour. Do you know the only problem with the green screen is I had to buy a contrasting colour blazer. So I might have to change the green screen again so I can wear green again.
Greetings! Welcome to the Citadel of Regzar. Would you be interested in taking on some commissions?
No, not at all. I'm here to sort out Lisa's green clothes.
Are there any easy jobs where we can earn loads of Mora for just standing around? Oh, better yet, for just sitting around? That's the kind of task we're interested in now.
I don't know about that, Paimon. You never sit, do you?
We don't currently have any commissions like that. However, I do have some relatively simple requests from residents that will pay several thousand Mora.
Is this a joke? That's a joke, isn't it, about these sort of things?
Really? That's all? That isn't nearly enough for Paimon.
The more Mora, the better.
Yeah. Effendi, are there any high-paying commissions available?
Ah, I see. Let me think. Spontamod recently initiated a research project on the ley lines and is looking for paid volunteers.
Spontamod. I mean, I shouldn't laugh at people's names, but they are fictional people. So Spontamod, is that a standard name, is it? I'm going to have to look it up on the internet now. I can't... No, I'm going to have to look it up on the internet now. I can't live without finding out if Spontamod... Genshin Impact, it's brought up. Wiki Fandom. Nope. That's it. It only exists in Genshin Impact as far as I can see. No. It's only bringing up Genshin Impact. Yeah, they've made up a name there. And the first time they've tried it, and they've gone way off the reservation. Spantamad. What? You can't... Spantamad. What you call it? You asked me about children earlier. What are you calling it? Spantamad. Spantamad. Yeah, we thought it'd be difficult for them to learn to spell, so that'll help them with their learning of spelling. And it obviously wouldn't get them bullied at school. We tried to invent something that wouldn't get them bullied at school. What about Pantaman? Oh yeah. Oh. Spazzy. You shouldn't say spazzy. It's negative. That's why I'm saying it as a. You know, the kids will say it in the playground. Spantamad, Spazamad. Mad's in it. Maddie. Find Maddie. R.I.P. Yeah. No, it's not a good name at all. Spantamad. Spanty. Maddie. You'd be Maddie, wouldn't you, for short? Spanter. Like Santa with a P. Spanter. I'm not vibing with it. Not vibing. If I had a boy, I'm going to call him John Herbert Jessup. And then if I have a girl, I'm going to call her Joanna Herbert Jessup. No, if I have a girl, I'll just let the wife name it. What do I care? It's only a girl. I'm only joking, of course. I won't let my wife do anything. How could I trust her? She's a girl. So I'll have to do it. Yeah, no, I'm only joking. I don't have a wife. Not at this rate. Not with those jokes. If I have a say in the matter, then I'm choosing the boys' names. That's important. But I wouldn't be so harsh as to say that, 50-50, isn't it? If it's a girl, you can have a go. I say have a go. I'm not guaranteeing anything. Paimon. We could call her Paimon.
There are several researchers in Spontamod who specialize in studying ley lines. So there is a great demand for ley lines data. Researchers often need to enter domains to investigate ley line disorders.
I'm a bit of a collector, you see, and we started calling the pets in our house. There's a cat over there, you can see it if I turn on the light. You see that lovely cat who's having a nice sleepy. I'll turn on the light for you. Get over there and turn on the light, you chuffer. Burning the electricity now for no reason, just to show you a cat. We'll have that on. We'll have that on as well. Is it still on? It's still on. Pointed at the cat, you chuffer. Right there, pointed. And then I've got to set these all up on their own buttons. There you go, there's a cat. Look, that cat's having a nice time by the radiator. It's not the best scene, really, the radiator. Like, it's not a good scene for the cat. Like, I want the radiator gone. Like, you know, it's not, and you can see the plugs. That's not a good visual. I just pointed it at the cat. That's the cat's enjoying that bed by the radiator. See? She's loving it. So this cat's called Shakima. Detective Shakima Greggs. And she's named after a character in The Wire. Ain't you, Shakima? I'm talking about you, yeah. Minka. The Minka. Yeah. And so... I've also got a dog named Marlo from The Wire. Marlo. And a cat named Omar. Omar from The Wire. So I've woken her up now with the light. Look, the light has woke her up. Poor Captain. She'll have a wash now. Right. I'll bin that off then. I'll turn off the light now. Sorry. Sorry, Minka. You don't need to be illuminated while you sleep, do you? So it made me want to call all the different animals. It made me want to call them by the names of characters from The Wire. I wanted to get more animals. There's a lot more characters in The Wire, so I'm going to need to get more animals. And I wonder if that's what people do with children. So, you know, I called this one after this, and I called that one after that. And then I thought, well, you know, I'd like to complete the set. Like, you could start calling your kids after Genshin Impact characters, couldn't you? Like, and then if you just had a character, like if you just had a daughter called Lisa, no one would get it. It wouldn't make any sense until you started having 2 and 3, and then you had like little Zhao and Zhongling, and you know, then it starts to make sense. Then people are like, hang on, these names together as a group. Now Lisa's the one from some. I get it. Okay, Kath, you want to go out? Go on then. Because I messed. Oh, you don't want to go out? Well, that's nice of you. Thanks. Yeah, so you'd have to you'd have to have a lot of kids if you were going to name them after something that's part of a collection. Because you're going to want, like, let's say you name one child Egon Spengler, and then you have another child and you call it suddenly Ray Stantz. Now it's the Ghostbusters. Now everyone understands that you're naming your children. If it was just Egon, they might, just Egon, they might still think Ghostbusters. But if it was just Ray, they might think, it's a name. It could be Ray out of the Ghostbusters, but I wouldn't guess that it is. Until you put them next to Egon and Winston, then you're well away. Well away. So you're going to have, like, if I'm going to have children start naming them after collections of things, I'm going to have to, if I have one Paimon, I'm going to have like, you know, oh god, I'm going to have to be rolling for 5 stars. Maybe like, say to the wife, would you like to roll for another 5-star? No, I certainly wouldn't. Leave me alone. But I've saved up my primos.
They have been understaffed for some time, even after recruiting a good number of their own students. So, now they've turned to recruiting large numbers of volunteers.
Whatever.
They offer substantial pay, but they also have strict requirements for the quality of the volunteers. Are you interested?
What are the requirements?
Yes. Let's walk through the recruitment process.
Not really.
First of all, are you proficient with one or more types of weapon?
Have you got... Well, yes, of course. Look, I'm not actually, to be honest, I'm skilled with one-handed swords. I'm not really proficient with all sorts of weapons, is the truth. Isn't it? I'm just one person with one skill, but the rest of my squad, pretty proficient.
Very good. How's your understanding of elements? Are you capable of using elemental powers?
Using elemental powers, mate. I've got multiples. I can switch between them, unlike any other person you've ever met, so away with you.
Alright, I'll put you down as the Traveler, right?
No, you can call me Super Chuffer.
Okay,
Grave Kipper.
I finished the registration. I'll be coordinating the
Traveler.
necessary supplies and payments for volunteers later.
Has Traveller got one L? He's always got one L. This guy's chuffing... He's called Effendi, and he looks like... Look at his big... The back of his head doesn't go all the way up his hair, does it? You'd have to have a really big head for that. I think the back of his head makes it all the way to the back of his hair there. Really old. It's got a bit of a booth on.
You'll have to find Gafoor for more details about the job.
All right, we'll do.
According to the standard protocol for receiving
care.
goodies, sounded like he was in quite the rush to recruit volunteers when he contacted.
Stop talking. He's gone. No, he's still there. He's come back. Enter the cafe. Bit of a wild goose chase making me run around over here for the cafe. I'm going to go around the back way. Lisa knows all the little shortcuts. She used to live around here, didn't she? Way. There she look. There's. Hello, Ari. Hello. You. Haven't seen you in ages. You're planning to set up a light novel society. You interested? It's me, Lisa. All grown up. Look. A light novel society. There are many societies in the academia, but no light novel society. It's strange, isn't it? Well, no, not really, because they're quite... Like, light novels isn't really their bag, is it? Like, heavy reading academia. Yeah. Light novels don't seem popular in Sumeru, but it's the nation of wisdom, after all. There shouldn't be any gaps in our fields of knowledge. Well, you know, you could start cataloguing all the different kinds of toilet paper. It's not that important, is it? Like, there can be gaps in your knowledge. Can't there? If you're focused on the main big stuff. I'm not exactly a researcher of the academia, but I'm second to none when it comes to light novels. Well, you want to set up a... Revel in your own... Like, if that's the thing that you're expert in, why not? Should we have an initiation ceremony or something like that? What, you have to read one of the books, maybe? Good chat, anyway. Glad we had that chat. Not talking to you on the way in. You're not even saying hello to me. I'm not even saying hello to you. I'm not being rude, but, you know, if you won't even say hello to me, not even saying, like, that's fine. Here we are. We're inside the cafe now.
Do you still
got a
remember
fountain.
what the coffee's like here?
It's got a fountain indoors. Indoor fountain. You don't see a lot of those in the UK.
Of course.
Certainly not at my end
How
of the
could
scale.
I forget? It used to be my go-to drink here.
Like when I was growing up, we didn't go to a lot of places with indoor fountains, but maybe, you know, if you make it big, like, you know, Kanye West end of things, you might go to a lot of... Kanye West's lost everything now, hasn't he? So maybe not that end of things. I don't know. But I'm sure there's a certain level of high society where you start to expect an indoor fountain, but not for me. Is that Lisa anyway, dressed in green? That seems weird.
Listen, Gafoor. I suppose I should call you Professor Gafoor now. We're old acquaintances, so how about we stop beating around the bush, hmm?
It is Lisa, isn't it? I've come in, I'm Lisa, but that's Lisa. It's just going to get confusing.
First you wanted to catch up, and now the coffee. If you have something to say, just say it.
Look, she's got the Sumeru roses and the electro, but it's Lisa, but she's wearing green.
Oh, that's Gafoor. He's the one we're searching for. But he seems to be busy talking with someone else. Maybe we should wait for them to finish.
To be fair, when I first saw Lisa dressed in green, I thought it was a new character. I didn't realise it was Lisa, so I get it, Paimon, but you'll be surprised when I tell you.
Oh, well, it's nothing really. It's
Look at the
just
beret.
that ever since you left the academia, our original projects and plans have lost their backbone. So
The
to speak.
beret. How did you even stay on when it's that sideways?
Cyrus
Is
is
it still
also
a hat?
disappointed. He's always valued you as a proud disciple. To be honest,
Disciple?
it's a real shame that you left the academia, Lisa.
It's Lisa! Look at her! Wah! Wah!
With your wisdom and intellect, had you stayed in the academia, you would have become a Herbad by now.
Herbad. No one wants to be a Herbad. She's Lisa, librarian. Better than a Herbad.
That's Lisa! The librarian Lisa! Our Lisa!
Exactly, Paimon, isn't it? Isn't it a surprise?
Paimon heard that Lisa had studied at the academia before, but that was a long time ago. What's Lisa doing here now?
Paimon, a little Paimon thumbnail. I should always have a Paimon thumbnail, maybe.
If I'm reading the situation right, you're reminiscing about the past to convince me to come back, aren't you?
Right, let's have a good look at this then. So she's got the beret. I just think it looks a bit silly, to be honest. It's a bit oversized, isn't it? It sits on her head on the side. Is her hair lighter in this image? I can't remember, but her hair's seemingly a more what we call a natural blonde in the hairdressing industry. People go, oh, that's brown. I don't want my hair that colour. That's not blonde, and that's why we have to show pictures, because that's not dark. It's probably up higher than a 7. It might even be an 8. It's not high lift blonde. It's not like ice white blonde like people want these days, but it is lighter hair. The lovely emerald green eyes, and we've just seen the Sumeru roses, the electro. She's sort of heaving away here. They've kept the heaving bosom that she's known for, and they've gone for a bodice, sort of core city piece. These diamonds, quite academia shapes. It's just very stylish, isn't it? It's understated rather than overstated. Big puffy sleeves, more sort of thought and care gone into the cut and the lines and the colour combinations than overdoing it. So I think that's really good.
Well, I heard that you're currently the librarian for the Knights of Favonius in Mondstadt. If you ask me, that's a tragic waste of your talents.
Shut up. Knights of Favonius are the best, mate.
Why waste your time and energy on something as trivial as taking care of a library? Your time is much more valuable than that.
Yeah. On our recent episode of Thus, someone left a comment, because, you know, I put the music in the background. Someone left a comment, is that... I missed a chat there as well. I missed a chat there. Would I ever do a vegan mukbang? I don't think it's polite to eat on the internet. I don't think it's polite. Actually, to be fair, Reckful did it, and anything Reckful did, I'm up for. But Reckful used to be on the internet. You know, he used to be like, let's say Reckful was on for like 9 hours. He'd have his lunch in the middle, and he'd just sit there and eat it. So he was probably the earlier proponent of mukbang, Reckful, but R.I.P. Reckful. But I don't think it's polite. Like, you know, when you go for a meal, you're all eating and you're talking and eating, but you don't talk with your mouth full, and you don't watch people put food into their mouths. That's impolite. You don't, you know, there are manners that you observe when you're sat around a table. So when you're at home, it's different. But when you're watching someone, like you're watching me talk, and if I'm eating, I'm rah, 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 and you're watching it all go in my mouth. I don't think it's very polite for you. Like, if I'm ever eating on stream, it's because I'm really hungry and just had to schnaffle something. But as a general rule, you don't see me eating. So no, I'm not really into doing a vegan mukbang either. And as a human, if you piled up loads of food in front of me, I might be able to get through it, but it'd be a real chore. I'd rather pick and graze and have a little bit, you know, smaller portions. I certainly wouldn't be into cramming it all down and like eating competition thing. So I wouldn't be up for that. And yeah, someone left a comment on the Thus podcast about Madly Imacan, and it said, is that Genshin Impact music in the background? And I was like, yeah, I'm a Knights of Favonius. Woo! I'm glad someone noticed.
If you're willing to come back to the Academia, I have plenty of projects for you to preside over right away. The Academia needs people right now, and some of these projects are quite important.
Just like your mustache.
Yawn. So all this talk is to convince me to come back. I'm guessing Professor Cyrus doesn't know that you're talking to me about this.
Yeah, you tell him, Lisa. She's saying bollocks.
As a matter of fact, he has long wanted you to come back and work at the Academia.
Oh, they all want a bit of Lisa.
Is that so? You know, Professor Gafoor, it isn't a good idea to lie to people. Our teacher knows exactly why I left the Academia after only 2 years. He would never ask me to come back. Giving up my life in Mondstadt and returning to the Academia as a Spontamod researcher. The price of seeking wisdom is no longer something I'm willing to pay.
Ooh, get the subtext, it gets darker.
So please, don't bother trying to get me to come back.
This has got to be my thumbnail, hasn't it, Green Lisa? Give her a kiss. Not getting to come back.
So Lisa used to be a Spontamod researcher? Paimon's never heard her mention it before.
Shh, Paimon.
Besides, taking care of a library is important work. I've never considered it a waste of my time. Wisdom is hidden in every corner of the world. Never underestimate wisdom, no matter how small it may appear. That's what our teacher always said.
And that's why I've been cataloguing the toilet paper. But the concept's quite big, isn't it? You've left the Academia without finishing it, but on the other hand, you're in charge of the full library. That's all the wisdom of Mondstadt, the library. It's quite a big wisdom position. I think she's done quite well. Yeah, I think it's cool. Interesting soundtrack as well. We're getting a much more sort of moody, jazzy, seductive saxophone going on.
A good scholar wouldn't overlook the small details, Gafoor. I'm sorry. I'm still not used to calling you Professor. Nevertheless, the underlying meaning of what you just said is simply wrong.
You're bang wrong.
And there's one other detail you
Push him in the
probably haven't
fountain.
noticed.
Get him in the fountain.
2 people have been eavesdropping on us for quite a while now.
This is why you couldn't have a fountain in a bar in the UK, is because people would be throwing each other in it all the damn time. Anytime a fight kicked off, someone's going in that fountain. Ugh.
Is there anything we can help you two with?
Hello, Lisa.
Long time no see, Lise.
Well, if it isn't you two.
Except I came in here as you, thinking that it'd be part of the quest for me to be you, and then you're here, so it confused me for a bit there.
Long time no see, cutie. Paimon.
I'm cutie. Oh no, Paimon!
Excuse me, but what business do you two have here?
Oh, you chuff off. We're here to join the academia after 2 years of... Like, we started doing it for 2 years, and then we decided to bin it off. We went and started a library over somewhere else, and now we're here to join the academia again. Oh, no, wait. That's your problem with Lisa. We're here just to have tea and chuff around, so chuff off you.
Well, actually, we're here to participate,
We're here to participate in a research project on ley lines for Spantamad.
We just finished registering with Effendi.
I forgot that.
A research project on ley lines? Oh, darling. You haven't joined the academia, have you?
No. Yes. I don't know.
Alright, Effendi told us a research project is looking for paid volunteers. That's what we came to see Gafoor about.
There's no such thing as a paid volunteer, is there? If you volunteer, it's free, and if you're doing paid, you're paid.
Paid volunteers? Gafoor, is the academia really that understaffed?
No. The paid volunteers are for a conventional project to monitor the ley lines. We rely on a lot of manpower to collect the data. There's no...
If memory serves me right, collecting ley lines data requires investigators to go deep into domains.
Let's get on with it then.
We've seen our
It's been
I'm going to
so-
skip now for a little bit because
Since
we know
you
what we're
two are
doing
here to
now.
apply for the project, then
I'm sorry, Gafoor.
aren't you
We're going to
even
be going
a
in
little-
I've never
domains.
regretted my decision.
I thought after all this
They're
time,
gonna
you've made
argue
yourself
about
clear.
whether
In
she-
that
she's
case,
not
I
coming
still
back.
have
Yes. Don't worry. I'll be there on time.
She's doing a hand. She's not coming back. Shove
As
off
for
you.
you two, please come see me later in the Mautiima Forest when you're free.
Yeah, go in the
Yes.
forest, you. Yeah?
I wish you the best of luck in Mondstadt.
And fuck you too.
Thank you.
Away with you, Gafoor. You and your stupid... Get
Well
them in-
then, cuties. Now that the recruiter is gone, we can sit down and have a good chat.
There she goes. I'm going to go and sit down and have a good chat. Lisa, good chat.
Much has been happening within the academia, and Gafoor is paving the way for his future.
I don't want to have a good chat. I want to go and do what I'm supposed to be doing with these ley lines. Why are we here chatting?
By the way, Lisa, what brought you to Sumeru? Are the nights okay with you being gone?
Of course. Jean gave me an extended paid vacation. It's rare that I get any time off, so I thought to myself, why not go on a trip and relax a little?
Exactly, that's what I've been thinking to myself a little bit.
I don't know how much of our conversation you heard, but I studied in the Spantamad Darshan at the academia for 2 years.
Yep, reiterating the point there, Lise. Oh, wait, my camera. My camera. Come on, Scotty. You know. There you go. To me, that's quite funny. Trying to give her a kiss, I think that's quite funny. Like, as a running joke that I'm continuing as a theme, I think it's quite funny. And I think what would be nice if, I mean, it would be very difficult to execute. But let's say, for example, I got the belly dancer in. Now that you know that I try and give people kisses for a thumbnail, I could set up a situation where I could say, oh, can we just quickly get in the camera shot for the thumbnail, and you would know I'm going to try and give her a kiss. But obviously I can't in real life because she'd be a real woman, and like that would be like an assault. But I could try and give people, and you like when they're not looking, I could go, ooh, and you would know, you would know, you know. So that's quite a funny joke that I've invented.
But instead of staying at the academia after graduation, I went back to Mondstadt to become the librarian for the Knights of Favonius.
Well, we just know that. Everyone knows that.
So that's why you came to Sumeru, right? To walk around and meet with your old friends and teachers.
Why did you leave?
You'd like to know, wouldn't you?
That's why I asked.
Well, I guess it wouldn't hurt if I told you. After all, it was ages ago.
Well, that's a superfluous line of dialogue then, isn't it?
If anything, it all boils down to a difference in philosophy. When I first came to the academia, Professor Cyrus really appreciated my work and invited me to participate in several major projects.
What was your work?
But most of those projects ended in failure.
No.
To be honest, they went too far trying to achieve wisdom beyond mortal understanding, so failure was only to be expected.
Actually, Lise, I'm not that
I
bothered
didn't
anymore.
want any part of that lunacy, so I left.
Okay.
Anyway, now that I told you, make sure you keep it between us.
So it sounds like all those years ago they were actually trying to create, it's almost alluding to that powers beyond the mortal ken creating the god, like she didn't want any part in the Wanderer storyline.
Sounds like you've experienced a lot.
I don't wish to return to the academia, even if Professor Cyrus came to ask me personally. Rather than conducting experiments day and night, I'm much more suited for working hours that start after 10 a.m., with regular afternoon tea every day.
There you go. You like the library.
Oh, Lisa chose to be a librarian because she doesn't want to deal with hassles all the time.
That's Lisa's style.
I prefer to take things at my own pace when it comes to tiring tasks like a job. And besides, being able to take regular vacations is also really important.
Nice.
It's a pity I didn't even have time to visit that child in Gandharvaville yet. Gafur found me just after I arrived in Sumeru.
What child?
Speaking of which, what about you two? What brings my favorite cuties to Sumeru?
Not going to find out about the child then. We tell Lisa all about what's happened. No, we don't. We black out, and you tell us that we told her.
Even I didn't expect them to be so.
It's all right,
That
okay,
sounds like you
skip,
were- and to think,
skip,
having accomplished such a
skip.
feat, I'm sure you must have a lot on your plate right now. What a pity. It's very rare for us to meet like this.
Maybe we can walk around and talk later.
I plan to spend the next few days visiting around
Okay,
Sunny
then.
Road. If you see me around, be sure to.
Thanks, Lisa. Look, Lisa on Lisa Action.
I remember. You
No.
two feel free to.
Sit. Not there, you chuffer. On the first one. Sit on the first one. There you go. Look, Lisa and Lisa head to head. In a battle of... There's no battle, they're just sitting there. There's two of them though. Lisa and Lisa Action. We're going to have to get the camera out for that. Where's my camera? Where's my bag? Come on. I should know this by now. Inventory. That's my bag. And my no, I should know this by now. My camera. We'll have the special one. It's a special moment after all. Let's get that camera angle out again then, please. That we just had. It was a nice angle then. Where did it go? It dropped off, didn't it? Dropped away like that. No, too close. Why don't you do it? There you go. Yeah. Yes, just there. Just there. That's the one. I can't take a photograph because I'm indoors and I'm sitting down or something. So now I have to use the escape key. And there's an option here to do it, isn't there? Photograph. So we've got to go through that rigmarole again of hoping the thing pans down. It's done it, it's done it, it's done nice. Take the photo there. That's a nice photo. Ish. It's the best we're getting. And then probably just want to get one stood behind myself. Like that. That's quite a good photo as well. Nice. Dual wield Lisa. Her hair is the same in both. It's slightly lighter in the green one, isn't it? Slightly lighter in the green one. Twin Lisa. Strange how she looks so different in the different clothes. So used to seeing her in that big purple hat. It's quite dominated. I actually thought she had purple eyes. Just thinking, if I'd closed my eyes and said what was Lisa like, I wouldn't have realised she had green eyes earlier. Until I saw her in the green and recognised. I was like, she's got different coloured eyes. Anyway.
It's nearly time for afternoon tea.
It's really nearly time for afternoon tea. Go to the forest. So that's enough of that saxophone moods. Now we're over here in the forest. I love it. Like Genshin Impact's like, why don't you go over here and have some tea and talk saxophone moods, and then why don't you go out to the forest? I've got my team of mommies for walking around Sumeru. We're not going to be doing any of that. Right in the forest. Straight into the action. It's one of these. No, it's not. Okay, I'm not allowed in there. Go and pick this Rukkhadevata mushroom. Rukkashava. I always call them Rukkhadevata mushrooms because less Lord Kusanali, but they're Rukkashavas. Anyway, this is Gafur.
There you are. Looks like you two are ready.
Shut up.
Very well. Let me inform you of some details. Spontamod has been involved with the ley lines.
I don't
but
care.
however,
Just, I don't
since it's
care.
often
I'm going to go
been
down the
your turn,
domain.
well, those are
I don't care. You don't have to tell me any of that. Oh, here we go. I've got formed 3 teams. Confusing, if anything. Just get me in there. I thought this was going to be a walking story. I thought it was going to be Lisa wandering around Sumeru, meeting people from her past, you know, things coming up. It's none of that. It's this magic door. She's nearly at the magic door. Not quite. Okay, we're going to take off the... I've got these things at the side that are my little graphic that Darkseid Phil made that I just like cut down and just popped at the side as like a little theme thing. They're going so you can see the whole screen, but I'm in the way, so you have to deal with it. My name is Violet. Apply a special mark to any random opponent, causing the opponent's physical and elemental resistance to decrease by 30%. After defeating this marked opponent, all members will enter a valley. Oh, I just can't be arsed reading it. Stuff's gonna happen, yeah? Like, stuff's gonna happen. And they're the monsters, so you've got to kill them. The last round is Hydro, so you're going to want Hydro killers on the last round. Make sure you've got that. Easy, normal, or hard. We'll start on easy and see if I get the primos. Oh, I see, look, 3. Oh, you've given me some freebie characters, though, look. 3 trial characters. So the last one was all Hydros, wasn't it? So you're going to want... I'll put Al Haytham... And I'll put Lisa and out of my team. Well, there's 3 teams is quite a lot actually, isn't it? Because not all of my teams are that good, are that solid. But we only have to kill things once, don't we? It's not like we have to keep going, so... What is she doing? Am I going... I don't know what to choose. I don't know what to choose. Do you need a healer? Let's have a look at Team 1. Who haven't I used? You can both have a Kusanagi. Look, Lisa's in Team 2 and 3, look. Don't know what's happening there. It's confused me. You can each have a Kusanagi. I'll put mine... Oh. What? That's a linked... Okay, we'll use my Kusanagi anyway. And then you can each have a Yao Yao Beans then. Fuck it. Like, I see what's happening here. You're linking them. Level 80. Mine's a level 80 as well. I'll take my Yao Yao Beans. My Yao Yao Beans. Where's mine? No, okay. The next one has to be... Chuff it. Then Yao Yao Beans. And then you can have... Like, this is so confusing for me. I can't work out whether I'm doing a good job of choosing these squads or not. So I have to just then lean on the side of, well, fuck it. Like... Just trying to think what would be good for the water ones. One of them's got to have Klee in it, haven't you? Like, you'll have Klee, and then you're the water ones, so we can finish on some freezing with you as well, I guess. And then you've got to pick these things, so I'm just going to put whatever, because I just don't care. Please. Equip. Equip. That one's Electro, isn't it? So that will go there. Equip. They've both got Electros in them. I didn't even read them. It's not a big story event. It isn't, is it? It's strange, because you'd think it's like Lisa, like coming back to Sumeru, you'd think it would all be story. Like, it's story, like the whole concept is a story narrative thing. Lisa used to live in Sumeru. She, like, you know, it's the story behind why she's wearing those clothes.
Rain outlines your face.
Oh look, everyone's dead.
Time
Shit.
to...
Don't be scared.
Don't be scared. Also, probably be scared because I just killed everyone really quick just a minute ago, so... Oh no, wait, am I getting... Hang on, wait. Am I going to get a load of water ones next? I think I've confused what's going on here. No? Okay, that was fine. Then this one will be a load of mixed up mushrooms or something. Bongo head and everyone.
Share my knowledge.
Come a little. Don't be such a brute.
This is my new Lisa. Well, it's not, I don't know what's going on.
Surrender and be gentle.
Put that up in the air anyways. Now you're all dead. You're all dead now. At least it's not difficult. Klee's not even going to get a look in. Look.
You're in for a little shock.
Needs to just explode in them.
Come a little clip.
Don't
Go
be
on then.
scared. Throw them all up. Boing, boing, boing.
Get away from me, you big chicken.
Jumpy, jumpy, go. La la la. Hi.
Oh, we just melted all them. This is nothing. Al Hatham now. Just gonna wreck everyone. You ready?
Defract.
He just does that and he just everyone's dead. Look. Because he is pretty tough, to be fair. So is my razor, though. Have that. You need to get your specials out.
Let's spark things up a little.
Why won't the other two come and have it? Come on, come and have it here by the electric. Oh, you chuffer.
You can't run. Punishment.
Everyone dead. I was convinced, and you'll have to rewind it sometime and have a look frame by frame, but I was convinced that as Al Hatham finished there, he actually changed character model into Ayato. But I think that worked. Some slots will get characters into the next challenge, so you can pass down your stronger character or healer. Oh, that's quite a clever idea, isn't it? Yeah, you can have them in two, and you're like, oh, I need a healer in this one. Yeah, that's quite a clever idea. But to be honest, unless you're going to make the whole game like, because the whole game is not like that. It's a bit like learning a management skill, and like when you do management, get like Football Manager. I didn't get enough points. Are you fucking kidding me? Unbelievable! I didn't get enough points. Got to do it all again. I don't know how you get more points than that. I killed everyone. Like, what do you want from me? Oh, I'm gonna have to do it on the hard mode. If you were doing like Football Manager, which I used to do a lot of, the assigning players in the list and the teams and all that, let's just do hard times 4. Oh, it's still got everyone in. Okay. This bit is actually part of the strategy and the fun, so that's great, and you spend a while and you pore over it and you think about it, that's good. But then you know, that's part of the game, that's the main part of the... With this, I'm doing it, it's done, and then they're dead, and then it's over, and I don't have to think about it ever again. So it's not worth my time to really think up a really clever strategy, unless I'm not able to get the damn points. But... you know, as a concept, it's alright and it's interesting. Alright, let's kill everyone a bit better now this time, please. So apparently I didn't kill everyone good enough last time.
The Temple of Wisdom.
But you'll find
Ring cutter.
if you'd all just chop off.
Stay put.
These died quicker last time. Oh no, it's easy. That was on easy mode. Of course, it was on easy mode, wasn't it? Don't even need the healers. I should just go all DPS.
Make yourselves at home.
Looking for scores here, we're not looking to heal. Like, everyone's just going to die quick.
Ready, go!
Go on, Radish team. Team Radish. Get them going. Your team, Radish team.
Let me read you.
Opening box of a Death Eye
Pressing all the buttons now, really.
Committed to memory. The Temple of Wisdom.
It's taken a bit longer than I hoped it would.
Don't be scared.
This should have had Klee on it.
Go away.
Or, why have I not brought Kaching? I'm thinking, where's Kaching? That's what I'm thinking. I picked a bad team. Would have got it done quicker with Kaching on this one.
Stay put.
No, my
So he's not
sword.
wetting them up quick enough as well.
Ring cutter.
Like, this thing's not melting quick enough.
You're up.
Without the electric to set them off. We'll see, I might get the score, we might not. There we go.
I see everything.
Whee! And put this up.
Make yourselves
And
at
then
home.
Lisa.
Don't
and
be
then-
such a brute.
Stop hitting me so I can do
You're
my
in
special
for a
move and
little
chopper.
shock. Try not to.
Stay put! Don't get him, Uruguay!
They're not inside the circle. It does my head in. I needed sucrose for this to make it quicker.
Boing, boing, boing!
To suck them off into the circle.
Dumpty, dumpty, go!
The one that got away, thank you. Oh, and it died.
Don't be scared! This may hurt a little. Ready, go!
Come a little closer.
Gonna want Nahida to pop her
The Temple
thing
of
up.
Wisdom!
Thank you.
That hurt real bad! Yeah! Blazing delight!
Now they should all melt quick, shouldn't they? Yeah.
Woo!
Where's the other one? And then the big chickens.
Make yourselves at home!
Let's get that up.
Try not to enjoy this.
Hey, go away!
I don't think I needed so much healing. I think I needed more just outright attack.
Ow! Up! Pew! Hey! Sharing my knowledge. Ready, go! That hurt real.
You're in for a little shock. Let's spark things up a little.
I see everything. Make yourselves at home.
I mean, they'll go down. I don't know if that's enough score. This will be easy though, this one.
Flicker. Scatter. Drag.
Shit, I got him nearly dead.
Lights out. Try not to enjoy this too much.
This will be easy, this one, he says. What are you doing on the outside of the chuffing
You're
thing,
in
you
for-
chuffer? Go on, Al Haytham. We're going to be in trouble here with no healer. I didn't bring a healer to this party.
Come a little closer. Let's spark things up a little.
Go on, squad, come on. Got to dodge, got to be careful.
You're in for a little shock. Come a little closer.
Right, we're going to get them killed now at the end. If they get killed, they get killed. No one, everyone's still alive.
Here you are. Defract.
Come on. Ah, I knew I'm going to get them killed. Going to need to have these other mages come to me and all get killed together. Now, please, in that circle if you could. Not be shooting me from the edges, which has caused me a huge problem. Damn it.
It's calculated.
Definitely miscalculated here. That other one's still alive over there in the big circle. Didn't get killed
Come
in
a
the big
little
circle.
closer. You're in
Gonna
for
be
a
in
little
trouble.
shock.
Might not even make it. It's going to annoy the piss out of me because we've got the score.
I'm gonna ruin my gloves.
You're in for a little shock. Come a little.
Can't
Come a
even
little
bust the
closer.
shields. Come on. Stop getting
I
shot.
got carried away.
Gonna have real issues here. Won't be able to avoid being shot, I doubt. Oh, there we go. Got shot. Yeah, came in quick.
Job.
Challenge failed. Well annoying. So in the end there, I just want to swap. Probably you can be removed, Razor. Can I remove you? And then just put in a healer. I would have made that. And here I didn't really feel that. What did I say? I can't even remember which one was what. I think I wanted Klee in the first one. I think I wanted Sucrose in the second one. Assuming she's got a good book. This is a good point. I wonder which Lisa's got the right book. And then in this final one, I needed a healer, didn't I? Because I just went down a bit too much. It could even be Sai who would help. so he's probably good for it. Let's be fair, I do prefer this sort of thing. I like combat. So I prefer this sort of thing to a long, drawn-out, boring story. So this is cool. Oh look, it's letting me rearrange the character order. That's nice. This isn't the difficult room, is it? Ow, already started badly?
Share my knowledge.
Witness the power of Luwa.
What I could do with this, actually I forgot Kaching. I forgot Kaching again. Straight, see? It wasn't Klee I wanted, it was Kaching. Ah, well, it is what it is, isn't it?
Committed to memory. You look like you're up.
Ow. Did you die?
Rain outlines your fate. Rain cutter.
Go get it, you. Make yourselves at home. Sparks and flash. Pew.
Everyone should die quick here now.
Everyone hold hands. Share my knowledge.
Know my sword.
Blazing delight.
Just stand in the middle of it all.
Boing, boing, boom.
Psych it up. Smash them up. Come on.
Make yourselves at home. Hey, go away.
Witness the power.
Quick. I wonder if I should have eaten food. I wonder if you can eat food for this.
Stay put.
Go get him, Uruguay. Not doing loads of damage, are they?
This way to your hit.
Rain outlines your.
Dumpy, dumpy, go.
Got it done though. If I have to go through this again, I know what I want to switch for that, but
Hey,
let's hope I don't have to go through it again.
Surrender in Allegiance.
swirl, Mark 2, absorption test.
There you go, that's what I wanted. That's much better this time for this.
Hey, go away.
Sucking them all together into that circle is good.
Grow. Share my knowledge.
Quite like another one of those to pop off if I could.
Try not to enjoy this.
Come on, suck them into the circle. They're not in the circle, it's fucking rubbish.
Don't be scared. Ready, go. Make yourselves at home. Committed to memory.
Come a little closer.
Let's get that circle going. Come on, Lise.
Come a little closer. You're in for a... Don't be such a brute.
Getting shot.
Come a little closer. You're in
Can
for a...
everybody just stop getting shot?
Enhanced animal module 75.
That's
Surrender
worked
and
perfectly,
gentle.
has it? The two circles are not overlapping properly, but
Stay put. Hey, go away.
this is a bit
You're
more
in for a
difficult this
little
time.
shock.
I can't remember who I swapped out, but
The Temple of Wisdom.
these chuffers. I think I used to have Klee on the last one, didn't I?
My.
I haven't got time to sort of build up my charge because someone keeps shooting me every minute. Swap, Klee. I'm trying to swap.
Stayed home.
Doesn't matter as long as we win.
Share my knowledge.
Fucked up that special then because those Yao Yaos don't stay out.
Absorption test.
Much harder this time without Klee. I can't even get my attacks in because I'm constantly being knocked off my feet.
Make yourselves at
Every
home.
time that thing shoots me, or
This way, pretty little.
like maybe a shield would help here.
Hey, go away. Stand clear.
I can't charge my attacks like I normally would be able to. I'm not disturbing them, that's the problem. Usually I would knock them off their feet.
Sharing my knowledge.
I'm simply not giving them the power attack to knock them off their feet. Look, I'm just getting hit again.
Stand clear. Don't break my glass attack.
And like what my specials are doing, nothing.
You play. You're up. Ready, go.
Taking ages.
Absorption test.
Got no DPS really, have I? That's the problem. Lisa's down.
The Temple of Wisdom. Stand clear.
That will nothing die.
Hey, go away.
Can't even charge an attack. Come on, something's got to die soon.
Make yourselves at home. Animal. Don't be scared.
We're not going to make it, are we? I don't even think we're going to make it.
You're up.
I've got no elemental combinations kicking off, have I?
Sharing my knowledge. I see everything. Don't be scared. Absorption test. Grow. Hey, go away.
Pretty difficult. 20 seconds, I'm not going to make it.
Make yourselves at home. Stand clear. Enhanced animal.
So I switched Sucrose in to help and she fucking fucked us up.
Don't be scared. This way, pretty little.
Oh, we're so close. We get to carry on though for some reason, I don't know why.
Sharing my knowledge. You play. You're up.
We didn't earn extra points. If I don't get the 10,000 off this, and it's because of that, that will annoy the piss out of me, of course. So I don't want to do this over and over again. Once is fine, thanks.
Try not to enjoy this too much.
Ninjutsu.
Punishment! You can't run!
Come a little closer.
Judgment!
I love how that one was able to run out of my circle of death. You know, the anchor's supposed to keep them locked there because they're wet, it's supposed to freeze them. Managed to get out of that.
You're in for a little shock.
Let's go.
I'm out of here.
Come a little closer.
You can't run!
Lights out.
Staying in that circle of death you are, you chuffers.
Flicker. The process of elimination.
Oh, hey, it's finished. No one's even near dead. Yeah, this went much, much better with a healer. In that first stage, giving the big swirl as well.
Try not to.
She's good against these shields as well, so...
Come a little closer. You're in for a little
Is there still another one alive? What's going on? No, this one. Right, what's good here is she can knock them off their stride even if she's not, you know, being that effective elementally. So you're not, as long as I keep knocking it off its stride, it's not able to do that.
Come a little closer.
So this is dead. Okay, we got the score. That was fine. But I say fine. I was a bit worried it wasn't going to happen for us then. Gold. Okay. Museum of Instruments. And 4 hours, 1 day, 2 days. Okay, so you won't see all of these on stream today. You probably won't see all of them because I'll probably just do them off camera once I've done a few of these. But let's bang this one then. This next one is... It's all the different mushrooms. And then it's... The Rift Hounds, they're electric. So you want some sort of... You want Klee. And then it's the Spectres. All of the different ones. So I said the second one I want Klee. Oh, she's in all of them. Well, that's confusing for me, if anything. It's offering me these cool characters as well. I've forgotten what's in all the different things, to be honest. All the different mushrooms was one of them, wasn't it? And the last one was the Spectres. I'm going to take you, because I didn't take you last time. Make sure you've got a healer. This team hasn't got a healer. And then I've forgotten what they're going to be fighting. They're against the Electric Wolves. The Electro Wolves. So I'm going to actually give you Noelle for that. And I don't think you need a big healer, but might consider a Sayu on there. Where have you gone, Sayu? And then here, I'm going to give you Dori. No one's got any Dendro, really, have they? Not gone heavy on the Dendro here. Maybe that's supposed to be Kusanali there, in that lineup there, all the Dendro. Again, it's too much for me to worry about. What's that? Swirl reaction. I haven't got a swirl reaction going. Freeze reaction. Elemental burst. Oh, Jesus. Kind of annoying to have to even think about this. Attack is increased. Crit damage. I can't remember which one was the most difficult. We'll have attack for this one. We'll have crit damage for you. And for you, you can have a pyro bonus, whatever. Like, that's enough to fiddle about with if you need little fiddles, but I guarantee... did I choose hard mode? I hope I did, because I don't want to have to do it twice. You know, it's not enough of a fiddle to make a big enough difference unless you're getting it really wrong. Right, because I can press all those buttons.
Incinerate!
Very unlikely to lose, aren't I? She's pretty cool.
Hold the line! Torrent, bring refuge! La la la!
It's just a mess. I got a circle going somewhere and it just still turned into a mess.
Allow me! Covenant of the Deep! Here's the...
I think this must be hard mode because it's hard.
La la la!
They're everywhere.
Hold the line! Torrent, bring refuge!
Getting hit from all sides.
Blazing delight! La la la!
More of them. I want to get rid of some of these big chuffers that are nearly dead. Right, they're gone.
Dumpty Dumpty Go! Billowing surge! Open room! Invisible evidence!
Should blatantly be using Dendro, shouldn't I?
Right.
That was a big number.
Boing, boing, boom. Throw them all up. Boom. Torrent, bring refuge. Uphill battle. Boom, boom.
Yanfei, that's cool when it drops the thing on her. The only one I don't have Yanfei, she's actually really cool.
Jumpy Dumpty Go! Blazing Delight!
Chose to go Chongyun.
Rust and Rebuild! Billowing Surge!
Okay, we got that done. We got that done. Mushrooms, wolves, spectres. Okay. Wolves. I'm ready for the wolves.
Woo! La la la! Allow me!
She's in it again.
Bring refuge! Sparks and Splash!
This should, oh, that's a big circle, big swirl, big effect. I know the wolves are tough, but this should be fucking them right up.
As a dutiful maid would.
Get lots of shields knocked off now. Hopefully. Shields kicking around then. I want to charge up my heals in case I need them, but I don't know if Sagamon, like, she might be healing.
Rebuild! Covenant of the Deep! Boing, boing, boom! Blazing Delight!
This should kill him anyway, shouldn't it? I think that's gone alright. I think we've done a good, good squad on that. There's more of them, but same again. Swirl working nicely for us. Old school style.
Steady as stone.
Back to making sure I'm shielded so I don't need to heal.
Billowing Surge!
Do that anyway. Swirls. Look at this.
Up! Hi-ya!
Feel very comfortable here. Loads of them, but it's a good fight. Kind of have to concentrate, of course, but they're not
Has a good night
threatening me. Chop, chop.
Torrent, bring refuge! Blazing Delight! Pew! Allow me! Got it out!
Side triggered. Yeah, nice.
Dumpty Dumpty Go! Covenant of the Deep! Leave it all to me!
Finish off with a bit of Knoll. Go on,
Time to
Knoll.
clean up!
Smash their chuffers.
Hold the line! Yeah, da-da-da. Torrent, bring refuge!
This one's actually quite fun.
Blow them all up! Boing, boing, boom!
Pow!
Hi-ya!
Pow!
Da-da-da.
Right, there is a big chuffer that I need to sort of focus on and actually get killed.
Steady as stone. Rust and Rebuild. Covenant of Blazing Delight.
This time will tick down now. It's 2 minutes, 2 big chuffers. Would like to have the shields kicking around if we need them. I worry a little bit about that. Let's get Sayu popping.
Gotta dash. Leave it all to
That's a
allow
shield.
me. Da-da-da. Billowing Surge.
Let's get this popping. Come on, Sayu. Go.
Ninjutsu. Sparks and Flash.
Now come at me.
Boing, boing, boing. Covenant of the Deep.
I don't even know what permanence in the deep does. I swear I should be using Dendro for this.
Steady as stone. Blow them all up. Jumpy Dumpty Go. Rust and Rebuild. Billowing Surge.
seconds. We're gonna get there.
Leave it all to me.
Blazing delight!
Where's it gone? Got it. Spectres. Spectres are alright because they can't really kill me. I shouldn't say that. I don't think they can kill me though. I just think it's about, can I do enough damage? And I didn't bring Dendro, which would have really would have made it pop, but still think we'll be fine.
Let me leave you.
Nowhere to hide. Don't blink.
Some of them are immune to that.
Orders given.
Might have got the wrong squad here. We're going to be leaning on Clear Lock to do a lot of damage here. Shit.
Incoming.
It's the mix, isn't it? Some of them are immune to some of my attacks, depending on who I am. Like, there's wet ones and there's electric ones.
Rain outlines your fate.
With sword comes shadow.
So that's not doing its job there, that.
Blow them all up.
Again, it's going to be cool.
No, my sword. Rain cutter.
Speed of light. Cut to the chase.
That's working on them. Okay, we're getting somewhere now.
Incoming. Blazing delight.
So we've got to concentrate a little bit on making sure I'm on the right character for the right Spectre.
That really hurt. Don't blink. Opening box of Adepti tricks.
Okay. And this could have been a Sucrose job, couldn't it? Suck them all off into the middle.
Incoming.
I think we'll still make it with the more traditional one-on-one sword style. Just moving our way through the...
Let me weave you a verse.
Wheel of life.
Moving our way through these chuffers.
No, my sword.
Everyone getting a bit... Making their own Dendro reactions now, even though I didn't bring Dendro.
Speed of light.
Doing it for us. Nice. Nice to see you today, yeah. Nice to see you. I should be on YouTube in the daytime tomorrow, and really, I'm going to try and, it's just kicking my ass a bit this month, but we're in February now, it's a different month. New jacket. Thanks for being here. I'll see you anon. Not anonymously, like, anon is like a Shakespeare word for in a bit. 9-6, we didn't get the full record there, did we? I don't think we got enough score there. Go and show me the scores. I bet I didn't get enough score. Oh no, we did. We did. 8,000's the target, okay. That's quite cool. It's quite a cool event. It's a nice... It could be more... Like, there are ways to mess that up. If I took the completely wrong squad, we wouldn't have got through some of them. But it's enough of a challenge, I suppose, for the rewards without it getting too over the top and being too grindy. There are 3 more levels. They're not unlocked yet. Time gated. So we don't get our Green Lisa today. I thought we'd do a story quest. We'd meet all these different people. She'd tell me all about her old days, and then it'd be like, maybe have a big fight there at the end and have your Green Lisa. No Green Lisa today, but we will be getting her.
Why not keep me company for a while? There'll be plenty of time for work later.
Alright, you chuffer. Coming on 2 hours. What do I want to do with the last bit of stream? I haven't spent all my resin today, but it's not a big deal, my resin spend. There's still quite a lot to do. Let's have a look at where we're at with our primos. 12,940. We hit the target for Hu Tao, and everything else now is going into the next banner category. So if we ignore the 12, say, and we ignore the 12 lovely wishes there, we've got like 1,000. We're back on the grind. 1,000 of 28,000. 5 days of this, 20 days the next. We should be hard primo grinding, really. That's what I really should be doing. Hard primo grind. But and we didn't get, I thought today we'd get the 20 off this quest, actually. So we're going to do... What are we going to do? There's a couple of characters that are sitting on an ascension. Where are you? I'm saving up the books now for Hu Tao as well. But Chongyun is sitting on ascension. He needs Core Lapis, of all things. And then this chuffer, Kujo Sara, is sitting on ascension. I've got all her stuff though. So boom.
The Shogun's army might as well just be me.
The Shogun's army might as well just be me. Nice. She's ready to go to 70. I'm not going to spend the books on her yet because we need them for Hu Tao. But she's ready to go to 70. Her talents are at level 4s. Can now go up a level. 5s up to 7s. We'll go 5s to 6. Can we get in that domain? Nope. 5s to 6. And then 6s to 7s on her. So she's entering top line. Bow, Electro, a bit like Fischl. Might not be regular runner in our squad, but she's coming up to top line. And Chongyun hasn't got a sword at the moment, has he? He's a new character without a sword, even. Interesting quest choice. I mean, that looks alright on him, but it's a bit purpley, doesn't it? It's better when it's not been upgraded, but why would you want a non-upgraded sword? The White Blind. I mean, that's right, isn't it? White Blind. It's the right name. It's spiky and sharp, and that's what cold is like. And it's white and it's blue. The White Blind looks good. I wonder what it will look like when we upgrade it, though, whether it will start to go purple or not. Forest Regalia there on him. Doesn't seem right at all, does it? But the Maquia Aquamarine actually don't look too bad. It's green, but no, it don't look too bad. Got this kicking around. The Rain Slasher. That's a really cool looking sword in green, but I don't really have the character for it, the big green claymore. Even a Dendro wouldn't look that green, that kind of green. White Blind. Charged attacks increase attack and defense by 6%. It's alright, isn't it? Base attack 42, defense as an extra stat though. It's like more defensive sword. Elemental sword, that one, energy recharge. Could have a Favonian greatsword, I mean he could do. He's a leeway chap though, isn't he? What's the most leeway sword I've got? He's not having that. He's not having that. Look, he's not having that. I think we're putting the White Blind in his hands. I think that's what we're doing. Kind of should be saving Armora and stuff, but kind of feel like upgrading the weapon a little bit, seeing what he looks like running around with it, but yeah, he's still got one ascension to go before he hits that squad level. And I could either do little grindy bits or slightly bigger story bits. I don't think we're on to slightly bigger story. I'll tell you what we'll do. I know what we'll do. We'll do one of these story quests that are like hangouts. They're interesting if you're into this sort of thing. For me, they're not like anything like the game I'm playing. So let's like, why have I got them? But Chongyun, let's have him begin the hangout. This is what happens.
Today's no good for going out. Did I say that yesterday as well?
Where is it? Where's my hangout? Must be there, yeah. Must be there. They're mainly talking, and then there's going to potentially be a little bit of gameplay involved, like the story quests normally are, but this is much... It's not like a story quest, find out the backstory story quest. This is a hangout. And so it operates completely differently to anything else in the game. And it's an interesting idea, it's an interesting concept. There are primos behind it. There he is, look, Chongyun. And... if I just show you in the story quests. So we're in these hangouts. Chongyun. There's all these rewards, look. There's 2, 4, 6, 8 primos for different memories. So you go through the same story over and over, like a choose your own adventure book. And then you have to do it several times over to get the different memories.
Excuse me. Have you perchance seen any evil spirits?
Which as a concept is a bit strange, isn't it? Because it's like being able to relive the same day over and again and make different choices. As a concept, it's very strange. Evil spirits.
Oh, my apologies. You're not from around here, are you? This question must sound a little confusing to you.
I could put my sides back on.
I'm
very laid
Chong
back.
Yun,
Chill
a
out.
local exorcist from Liu. Those versed in
Liu.
the arts of exorcism refer to all forms of demons and monsters as evil spirits.
And you get some time to be like one-on-one with the character. You see how they're looking straight at you? Usually the character that you're playing is central on the screen and you run around. But here, it's like a one-on-one convo.
Evil spirits have existed since ancient times. They lurk among the shadows in the lands of Liyue, stirring up all sorts of trouble and mischief.
Do they?
It is my duty to exorcise or destroy them, and protect the citizens here from their evil doings.
And here are my different choices. So whichever one I choose will be one of the arms on a different branching path. And then we can come back and do the other branching path later, which is kind of weird, but like this is the whole thing. That's what it is. So irrelevant what I choose, really. Like that's an admirable job.
It's work that must be done, much like any other job.
Because like you've got a little heart meter and that can go up and down whether you're making them happy or not by choosing the right things. But it's irrelevant because you need to choose all of them.
Sorry, I digress. Judging from your response, it seems you aren't well versed in the realm of evil spirits. But that's understandable. If I may ask, have you happened to come across anything strange recently?
So what I tend to do with these is I'll take a screen grab while I'm playing it, right? Right. I'll show you what I do. There's a screen grab of that. And then I'll open up Twitter. And I'll show you with the old computer. Show you on the old computer. Twitter. Steve's got a fan. What's going on here? Almost got to have an entire stream without having to look at Steve's DSP looking, pasty skin, dirty looking, never kissed eye girl. Hes nev paid for face. I don't understand what it means. I wouldn't know how to react to it as a troll comment because I wouldn't know how to understand what it means. He's nev. I'm just going to reply with Hess nev paid for face. Hess nev paid for face. Like, what's that mean? Sorry, Steve has to deal with that. And yeah, anyway, we're on Twitter though because I'm on Twitter at Informal Films. This is me. At Informal. I can't move my head out of the way to show you. At Informal Films. If you want to catch up on my Twitter, do a few tweets. Sort of all a bit of fun. It's very similar to my content. Do a few tweets. So it is my content. I am making content here. Let's do a tweet now together. And what I tend to do when I'm doing these hangouts now, because I might do them off camera, because they're not like it's not really top line content as far as I'm concerned. But I'll put Genshin Impact, and I suppose I should put Chong Yun. I can spell the names. It's written there, Chong Yun Hangout, like that. And I'll post that, and that's all I need to post. But as we go through it, now when you go to me on the internet, here, you'll see, look, I posted it. I'll do another one underneath it, add another tweet, and it'll become a thread. And then I'll post some pictures of our hangouts on the thread. It's easy to share a bit of Genshin when I'm off stream like that. I'm going to share the off stream screenshots. They're nice screenshots. You'll see what I mean. It'll make sense as we go through this hangout.
Sometimes
so I might do these
even the most trivial matters prove helpful in my hunt for evil spirits.
I might do these off camera, so you might see a few screenshots on the Twitter and nothing more, but I'll pick out the best bits.
Oh, I see. Well, fair enough.
Fair enough, Chongyun.
In that case, I guess I'll just have to try my luck with the clues I already have.
What clues do you have now?
Only some scattered reports, really. Nothing too significant yet. But if you're interested, I can tell you about some of the more useful ones I've gathered so far.
And it's interesting because I'm just hanging out with Chongyun as a character here. You know, he's an exorcist. So we're just doing some exorcism. It's kind of interesting, cool. When I did mine with, what was her name, Sayu, it was actually kind of cool because she's like cute and fun. Oh, don't do my voicey. And like, I was like, oh, you're funny with your voicey. You get to see more of the range of the voice actor. You get to see more of the personality of the character. It is actually a good thing, but as far as Genshin Impact gameplay goes, you can see why I'm not so into this. I'm going to have to do them all for the primos, and some of them come with some little quirks that are quite fun. But in general, I like running around and killing things like we've been doing earlier in today's episode. Less I like this, but other people might like this more, so it's fair enough.
I read a flyer that said, "The test of courage is now being held on Wuwang Hill. Bring your best friend and test your courage together."
Well, that sounds like fun.
Then, recently, the sounds of footsteps and shouting have been heard outside people's windows at night. The noises have frightened the children, and they are unable to sleep. And a huge shadow has appeared in Guili Plains. It flies and swirls, summons down fireballs, and makes all sorts of strange noises.
What the fuck?
Cases such as these might actually be worth our attention.
So I've got a choice now. I can choose whether we go for the Shadow in Guili Plains. It might be a Ruin Hunter. It might also be some chuffer messing about. Test of Courage. That sounds like an advertisement. Or sometimes drunkards pass by people's windows at night. That's nothing unusual. Now I can choose which way we go. I'm going to go with Ruin Hunter.
Ruin Hunter? That would fit the description. But why has no one recognized it?
Let's get down there and sort it out.
Do you think I'm not deciphering these clues correctly?
I actually quite like this. Before, it's all just been talking, and maybe you go over here and like have some food, and then go over there and like, you know, try on a hat. Like, this is actually fun. There were 3 different interesting stories we could do. They all sound pretty far-fetched. Perhaps I should just tell him that. Although they all seem far-fetched, I better not tell him that. He seems like quite the persistent character. Do you see what I mean? Like, 2 different choices for once in Genshin, and you choose the route, and then when you come back next time, you can do the other route.
I think the clue about the test of courage, if strange
I've made that
things have been
point, labelled
happening,
it now.
But there's an unusual requirement for this event. You must be a team of 2 people in order to participate.
What? That's not... I didn't choose Quest of Strength. I chose Ruin thing.
Huh? Strengthen the... Anyway, if you have the time, would you join me for this event?
Yeah, but I chose
You
Ruin
seem to
Guard.
have a good eye for discerning these clues. With your adventuring experience, I'm sure we'll track down those evil spirits in no time.
Okay, I'm free now. I'll just... whatever.
Thank you. I
Which
was
he's,
starting
yes,
to
he's
worry
happy.
that I wouldn't be able to find a partner.
His little face went up and he's happy. You get more hearts. And then you're forced to make the alternative decision later and choose less hearts.
We should make haste. If there are evil spirits at the event, then things could get dangerous.
They certainly could, Jude. So I don't know what we're doing now. Test of Courage. I didn't choose Test of Courage, did I? I specifically said Ruin Hunter. Fine. I can't believe you're making me test my courage when I specifically said Ruin Hunter.
Why not keep me company for a while? There'll
Lisa,
be plenty of time for work later.
All things have changed. We're now doing a standard hangout quest
May
fight
knowledge
thing.
guide you.
And I'm going to switch up my squad.
There are still so many places for us to explore. Let's go. Time is against us.
to a more standard setup. But we will take Yao Yao beans, why not?
Don't fear. Yao Yao's here.
Yao Yao's here. And I'll leave this. Shall I leave the sides on? I'll leave the sides on for this bit of gameplay, and I might review it later and see what I think of having the sides on. Because it's like branding, isn't it? And it's kind of nice in a way, but also the sides, like, they cut off a little bit of the information. I could shrink the window down, but then I'm shrinking the game. I'll just try it with the sides, just for a little minute. Let's go and see what's going on at Wu Wang Hill. Here they are, look. Take part in the test of courage. I didn't want to, I wanted to come and do the... Alright, forget it.
Please be careful, everyone. Pay close attention to your surroundings and stay... And most importantly, don't get separated from your partner and wander off.
Did you hear that? He's warning the event participants. Maybe something strange really did happen here.
No, it's to egg you on.
Let's investigate.
I think you misunderstood that.
Welcome to the test of courage. You two must be very close friends.
Actually, we...
No problem at all.
We
Don't
just
be
met,
shy.
apparently.
Just enjoy yourselves. But please drink this before you enter the test of courage.
What?
This drink will boost the yang energy inside your body and lift your courage.
Isn't he pure yang anyway?
Not only that, but this drink will also allow you to see things which are usually hidden from the naked eye.
Yang energy?
Isn't he pure...
That's right. Ghosts are said to be full of yin energy, so more yang energy will surely deter them.
Oh, I've never heard of such a drink. Is it a secret recipe? Or maybe some kind of potion?
Perhaps it's all psychological. I think you misunderstood this whole test of courage thing.
Surely not. He keeps emphasizing that there are frightening things inside. I'm almost certain it's some powerful evil spirit.
Isn't it supposed to be like for kids? So like, you know, you tell them it's scary and they expect to be scared, and then you jump out and go boo, and then they're scared, and like, it's not really anything.
But if this drink really does boost yang energy...
Look, hurry up.
You see, such a constitution allows me to scare away evil spirits. I am constantly focusing to keep my mind and body in a normal state.
Come now, what's with that serious expression on your face, lad? It's delicious and quite effective, if I do say so myself. Or if you're still
He takes
unsure,
everything so
perhaps only one
seriously.
of you could take the...
It's...
Anyway, look. Either we can both drink it, and if he loses control, I'll take care of him, or just let me drink it alone. See, there's another tangent that we could... Divergent path, so I'm going to choose this one.
All right,
we'll
here
both
it
drink
is. Please drink it slowly.
No animation.
Yes, that's it. You did great. You two may end...
I'm starting to feel something after that drink.
God, they poisoned him.
No, I'll be fine. Let's go investigate the area.
I'm investigating by picking up all the mushrooms. And the Sunsetias over here. I'll pick them up as well.
Everyone hold hands.
Little Yao Yao beans.
So this is the test of courage.
It
We could
would
all
be
in
if we
grave
didn't stop
danger,
and
but I'm not
talk.
too sure where we should start. But these innocent participants are completely oblivious to the potential danger here.
It's not actually
I need
dangerous.
to protect them.
You know,
What? Please, enlighten me.
the participants are just here to have fun.
You mean being scared is like entertainment to them? I see. Maybe you're right.
It's a bit like the event we
I'm
recently
certainly a
did
stranger to entertainment after all.
for the New Year thing in the woods.
I mostly spend my time purging evil spirits and practicing thaumaturgy. Besides training, I also need to constantly focus on my own emotions to avoid losing control.
Fair enough.
So I rarely have any time for leisure activities. Well, either way...
This is just getting to know him. Look around for signs of evil spirits. Some potatoes in that well. Alright, Liu Zhang.
This is all your fault. This place nearly scared me to death.
All right, don't lose your temper. We're leaving now, okay? To think I used to believe you were brave.
But this is different.
Excuse me, but I couldn't help but overhear your conversation. Did you perchance encounter an evil spirit?
Did you perchance?
If so, I'm here to track it.
He likes that.
Could you please tell me which direction it went?
That's perked him up.
Who are you? No, I didn't see anything, so don't ask. So please just leave me alone. I don't know what you're talking about, and I certainly don't want anything to do with an evil spirit.
Poor girl.
My apologies. Perhaps you misunderstood what I meant. I only wish to know what the spirit looks like and which way it went so we could track it down. If you can't describe its appearance, then at least show us the way it went.
Ghostbusters now.
Show you the way? No, I'm not going anywhere.
Dan's cross.
No, we're not taking you anywhere.
Ugh, no, forget it.
She's cowering.
All right, that's enough. Listen, if you keep talking like that, she might actually end up believing in that nonsense.
Cowering Dan. Why is she cowering?
Can't you see she's terrified enough
All
already?
right, we've scared
apologies.
Scared the lady.
Isn't it a bitch? Oh, I brought my
Isn't it-
girlfriend
isn't
here
it
to have
what?
some...
Thank you very much.
Isn't it a what?
Well, you heard it. It seems something unusual is going on here. But why would they ever want to come here if they get interesting? It's amazing. Anyway.
Labouring the point here again, like, people are coming for a ghost house experience and a bit of fun. I mean, that looks really actually spooky there, that one. So I think we'll go there last. Let's go over here first and talk to these people. Jun and Chanir. It's like they've come for it's a couples thing. Said, didn't they? You have to go as partners and you have to be close to... They did say that before we got here, like, go as partners and close to your partner. And I'm going with Chongyun and my squad, my full squad. But really it's supposed to just be one of us, Traveller and Chongyun. Like, getting to know each other. Maybe we're sort of on a date, are we?
Don't come over here again.
Stop touching me.
Seriously, just leave me alone.
Leave her alone, you.
Why must you be so obstinate?
That's not a question to ask someone who's just told you to leave them alone.
Just calm down. It's not what you think.
No, don't even bother. You think I don't know what you're doing?
Right.
Stop! Not a step closer.
Chongyun, serious?
Don't be afraid. I'll exercise it right now.
Exercise it?
Yeah, it's not... That's not what you think. You can't exercise what he's got going on.
What? Who are you? And what are you talking about?
Wait, what?
Everyone just calm down.
Oh.
It's just
He's
a person, not a ghost.
After seeing her, is
Oh.
it
Nah, it's...
Excuse me? A
tantrum.
tantrum? This is supposed to be a date, you know?
It is supposed to be a date.
And now that we're finally here, you don't want to go anywhere and you just want to hang around the entrance. What's the point in that?
Well, like, you two should split up, and the other couple were having the same problem. It was just the other way round. So you should just split up and go out with the ones that are more like you up to your street.
All right, fine.
Oh,
look,
I'll walk in with
sorry.
you.
I'm just
He's
now that
scared.
someone else is here, let's take a moment to calm down.
You know, I always say I'd like to be an NPC in Genshin. You know, it'd be lovely to be created as a... Or even a proper playable character. But I'd love to voice a character in Genshin. That'd be cool. And then these people have voiced a character in Genshin, and I skip through it because I can't be arsed listening to them.
I wasn't thinking clearly. It was pure impulse.
I'm sorry. Please, forgive me. Will you give me another chance?
Leave me alone.
Fine. I know I shouldn't have yelled at you.
It's alright, he wasn't trying to grope her after all.
Oh, it doesn't matter anymore.
Who said you could call me babe? You're so annoying.
You're on a date with him.
So they really are on a date? Perhaps we should just leave them alone.
Which begs the question, why has Choi Yun come here with me on a date if he doesn't understand that it's a date set up? Do you know what I mean? Like, do you not realise you're on a date yourself then? Are we not on a date? This is so, like, mixed signals and confusion. I wouldn't like a date like that myself. I'd find that quite a chore. At this point I would have said, like, what's going on? Should we just go to a restaurant and have some supper? Oh, don't you want to be in the ghost house? Are you scared? No, it's not that I'm scared. It's just that, like, if we're on a date, we can go... Let's go and look at the strange smoke. Why don't we go and look at the strange smoke? That sounds up your street.
These are traces
Strange
left
smoke
by
it is.
an evil spirit. No doubt about it.
Oh, I'm pulling a thread here on this new thing. Maybe I shouldn't pull the thread. Maybe that would be a huge mistake. Probably a huge mistake, isn't it? Pull the thread. How about burn it? Should I burn it? Not the hugest mistake I've ever made, but potentially an error. Potentially an error. What do you think? I'm not into pull the thread. I think pull the thread wrong. If it was just a little bit sticking out, I could just burn the edge off. Whoa, 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 whoa. Nearly set it all on fire then. Really issue there then. So now what I've done, don't tell Amazon, because I'm not sending it, well, I'm not sending it back, I'm keeping it, but you really can't tell, but just in a tiny little thread-like burn on the thing, where the thread melted and just now is stuck on the... Forget it. Forget it. Just forget it. It's the wrong colour for me anyway, it's the Villa colours really, isn't it, not the blues. But, these are traces left by an evil spirit, no doubt about it.
The traces are quite weak, though, so there are only two possibilities.
Just took a little tangent of my
Either
own
the
there in
spirit
real
that
world.
left the traces is very weak, or it has already left for some time now.
Now we found him an actual spirit, he's alright, he's happy.
Either way, these possibilities prove my hunch that there's indeed an evil spirit here.
Are evil spirits the reason why Wu Wang Hill's so gloomy?
No, I don't think so. There have been many rumors regarding the cause of Wu Wang Hill's gloomy aura. But although once it became the murky place you see now, it also began to attract more evil spirits.
A bit like Adorlando.
Anyway, these traces lead us one step closer to finding an evil spirit.
Not Adorlando, what's the one underground? The you know, the one under all the water. Proceed onward and look for information. What? Right here. Proceed here.
Sorry.
He feels poorly. It's the drink.
The drink we had earlier stirred the yang energy inside my body.
We shouldn't have given him the drink.
If there's too much yang energy, I'm afraid that I won't be able to control myself.
But we found some spirits.
If I lose control, I fear that I'll be the one endangering everyone here.
I'd like to see it. Sure, just have a rest. I'll investigate on my own. Oh,
All
man.
Right. You are an experienced adventurer after all.
I should have never given him that drink. Now we've got reason to go back and play it again, look. Right, check this out. We're in progress, yeah? But now look, you can see this. You can see the whole thing. So, we met him at the wharf, and we went to a test of courage. Instead of the other option, which I wanted to choose. But apparently prerequisite quests not yet completed. Oh, so I'm not allowed to choose it. Chongyun's determination here over here. That one not yet completed, locked. I don't know how they're locked and what they're locked by. But prerequisite quests not yet completed. And I don't know if that's the prerequisites of like finish this once this way and then finish it the other way and then finish it, or if it's some other quest in the world that I'm not done. You know, maybe the chasm or this or that or some shit. I don't know. But you can start playing from any completed narrative checkpoint. So if I wanted to, I can go back to here and start again from there, make a different choice. You don't have to go all the way to the start, meet by the wharf. You can start at Test of Courage, or you can start over here. We're not allowed to make the other choices here. Just going to finish the story here, but there are other choices to be made. And at least you can jump in at the sort of last fork in the road instead of having to go through it all again. But yeah, let's find out. Let's obtain our new memory then. Look for signs of evil spirits on my own. Not seeing any signs of evil spirits on my own. Oh, there's a chuff hiding.
I'm beat. Finally, I can take a break. Ugh. I wonder if I took things a little too far. Few people seem scared out of their minds.
So it is just a ghost house thing, yeah.
Huh? Hey, you shouldn't be here.
You shouldn't be here. We'll see about that.
Never mind. I assume you overheard me anyway.
I assumed you were talking to somebody else, but I didn't realise you were just explaining things to the air.
I work here pretending to be a ghost.
Pretending to be a ghost, it's got it.
Of course, no one wants to. They just come here.
I got it.
People find
Yep.
themselves in a scary.
I got it. Don't have to tell me twice. Tell Chongyun the truth. Oh, what? Spoil it for him? Yes. He couldn't go over there and look at that. He's had too much milk.
Oh, you're back. Huh?
The staff
No
member.
evil spirits?
Sorry.
No danger? Uh-oh. Now that everything's settled here, but could you It's fine.
He's poorly.
No.
And that's our memory look. So I forgot to take any other screen grabs. Nothing else really stood out to me. Maybe the smoke should have stood out to me. But look, I could take a screen grab of that now, and then we'll post that on the list. So now we'll go back to... I wanted to make a thread of the different end. Look, you can add the tweet now. Hashtag Genshin Impact. It's always trending. Always trending. Genshin Impact. There you go, tweet that. So we're making a little, and then it says show this thread. So there's the thread. So if you go to me on the internet and you scroll through my Twitter, probably not a good idea actually, is it? I retweet stuff and I tweet stuff. Retweet and tweet. I did a thread last night, Hearthstone. Well, that was this morning, wasn't it, really? Last night, this morning. I was playing Hearthstone and I was fighting the same bot accounts over and over, so I did a thread for that.
Why do so many people make
This was
such
bad.
a big deal out of seeking the Adepti? There's Adepti everywhere, isn't there?
That's what my Amazon has come to now. That's bad. It suggested a thing and I was like, what the fuck is that? And I clicked it and then that's it. I really want to have a conversation about the what's it called, deep faking of these people, like Jibby and ASMR people. There's a few ASMR people who are getting deep faked and now they're standing up and making a campaign against it, and it's good because they stand up and make campaigns, you know, to protect the innocent all the time, don't they? So when it's them, it's even more important to them all of a sudden. But I don't know, aside from that, you know, the selfishness of it all, I don't know that, and the fact they're using it for more clicks and views and to hype and promote and to ride a wave of a story.
Can we take a sneaky peek?
You know, I've seen it
Can we?
happen a number of different times in different communities, actually. It's an interesting one. I'd like to get people on to talk about it, though, because, like, they're sort of saying that you should police what people think about when they masturbate. And I don't know if you can police what people think about when they masturbate. I think that's the thought police. It's really interesting conversations. And of course, I am against women being... like, it's bad. Not women actually. That's sexist. Anyone, like humans, if you had your face taken and put on a deep fake, you'd feel... Well, I don't know how you'd feel. They feel bad, but it's not you, so maybe you don't feel bad. I don't know, but it's happening and people think that you should feel bad, so...
Don't
that's
put
a
off
conversation.
until tomorrow what you can do today.
What I'm actually trying to do...
Come on, let's
Oh,
get
look.
a move on.
I need a tarot cards. Interesting. What I'm actually trying to do is go down my Twitter to find my last... See, you have to be on it if you want to see my Twitter. I post loads of stuff. There it is. No. Where's my last... Where's my last... It's a while back now, isn't it? Here it is. Genshin Impact, look. Sayu endings. And this one says, this is one of my favourite things that have ever happened in Genshin Impact. It's not fun to be patted on the head, but what's done is done. There's nothing I can do about it now. And she looks so serious. It's not fun to be patted on the head, but what's done is done. There's nothing I can do about it now. That was one of the best moments in Genshin Impact ever, so make sure you get on my old Twitter for that. Turn that off. Here we are on this. There's a chest. What the?
Wow, these will last us for days.
I just found a random chest. Where am? Just at Wu Wang Hill. Where am? Spooky Wu Wang Hill. No chests around now. It's weird that is. Quite lucky then to find that. Would probably not have, you know, if I hadn't kind of gone up here on this random bit of thing, probably wouldn't be running around Wu Wang Hill. Feels like I just got the last chest out of the zone. Oh, what do you want, you chopper?
Incoming. Hey! Stay put.
Witness the power of good.
There you go now. Nectar. Spooky Wu Wang Hill. We have been up here, you know, it's been a feature of the game. Can't really remember it that well. Probably because it's all dark like that. Spooky Wu Wang Hill. Yeah. I think we've come to a reasonable conclusion to a stream there. 2 hours, 20 minutes. It's not supposed to be a big one. It's a late night, midweek one. Although I do want to be on Battery Exhausted doing a bit more late night, midweek. But that has to come after I get daytime, midweek up and running. Today is Wednesday, isn't it? So tomorrow is Thursday. So I want to be on the daytime stream. Actually, have I even got my days right? Have I even got my days right? Let's have the calendar, Google. Come on, Google. Yeah, today's Wednesday, isn't it? So tomorrow, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Thursday, I need to be on daytime. Friday, Saturday. I do want to start... I don't know if playing Oblivion is the right move. I want to start playing a different game, though, because as much as I love Genshin Impact, and I will continue to play it and stream it on Twitch, I want to start filtering in a gameplay stream. And I think finding the right game that resonates with the audience is important as well. And I think what we do over on... To finish the stream today, of course, I will, of course, Chuffers. I will... Super Chuffer channel. Make sure you get on that on YouTube. What I find about these lives that I do over here on the more... I don't know what you'd call it. Actually, I don't know what you'd even call it. But with the Thus podcast and the lives that I put in the middle of that, I don't think that audience is that interested in Genshin Impact. And I don't think the Genshin Impact, maybe, you know, you here watching Genshin Impact, I think maybe you would be interested in these other videos that we do over on Super Chuffer. And if you had a conversation you want us to have on Super Chuffer, if there's a, you know, like an episode you'd like us to do about something, then suggest it and I'll, you know, take your ideas. How come Oblivion? Because Phil's playing it, yeah. And I've got it, like, you know, Steam, which I can actually show you. This is the difference between, all right, you know, Phil, Bob, you know Phil, you know Phil. This is the difference between what Phil would do and what a normal streamer does. And I'd struggle to still juggle with all my different windows. More windows open than Buckingham Palace, mate. But I'm opening up my Steam thing, yeah? So I want to show you Steam, don't I? Let's just do it on this window. I'll be able to do it there, won't I? Maybe I need to bring it up higher up. Higher it up. There it is, and turn off Firefox. So we got there in the end. This is my Steam library over here. So, like, that's good, isn't it? It's nice to see the things that you're actually talking about. Like, if you're Phil, you're doing the gaming news, you should have your Twitter open with the things you're looking at and just show people. Anyway, I've got a few games that I bought when they're on sale. I've stopped doing it so much now because I realised what I was doing. Like, because Steve showed me that he's bought over 1,000 games. But I've got some really important games that we need to play together. Outer Wilds is one. Outer Wilds is... I want to save it so we've got more people regularly on the stream, like regularly. Because I've played it once myself, and I would rather you had the experience like vicariously as through the stream. So tell me what you want me to do, where you want me to go. You know, let's go and you piece the puzzle together yourself. And like, I'm sure Crawl would enjoy it. I'm sure, like, there's no one in the world that wouldn't enjoy the Outer Wilds. It's hard for me to show you how good it is without spoiling it at this stage, and it's hard for me to explain how good it is without spoiling it. But it's a voyage of exploration in a small universe. It's got a time loop involved. Don't want to say much more than that, but it is a remarkable game, and it made me cry. Not like, you know, I cry all the time, don't I, at little bits in games, but that game moved me. It is one of the best games I've ever played, and it's I don't want to say unique. It's a journey. It's an amazing journey. It takes a few different streams, like maybe 3 or 4 streams. It's not a one-off, you know, hour and done. It's a few hours of gameplay in that, a few bits of working out. It's a remarkable game, remarkable. So I wanted to play that. I've been buying up other games as well, you know, just because they've been on this. I'll just show you what happens. Look, you go to the store. This is on sale now. Look. Do I want Star Wars Battlefront 2? Never thought that I would want it, but it's 88% off. And that offer ends at the 2nd of February. That's tomorrow. I've got to buy it now if I want it. and it's £4, which is not much money. £4, is it? So do I want it? And now I fuss and I look at reviews, and it's not a modern game. It's 2017, but I might want to play it for £4. You know, that's how I pick up my games. I wait till they're on sale. I've got my wish list, so I wait till things are on sale. And when they're on sale, 20% off. Oh, maybe. But this is my wish list, just for me, just for my personal wish list of what games I would like to play when they come out, when they're cheap enough, when they're like Starfield when it comes out, obviously. But some of them I don't think I'm going to be paying the full whack for, so I'm just going to wait until they're on a sale. And that's what happened with Oblivion and all the other games in that. So let's go back to me. How do I go back to my library? LMNO Outer Wilds. Where's Oblivion then, you chuffer? Like, I've got it. It won't be under Oblivion then, will it? It'll be under something else. I've got Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor. That looked banging. I wanted to do... I got COVID and we didn't do it, did we? I wanted to do Lego Hobbit, Lego Lord of the Rings. We'll save it for another time now. But I feel like it's like Christmassy or like holidays stuff, isn't it? So maybe that's next Christmas, like we do that. And then I was going to follow it up with like the more serious Shadow of Mordor and Shadow of War. Hellish Court, I've got it on my list. Yeah, I'd love to get into it because I did do fencing, exactly. I think the problem is that fencing is a very specific skill and art, and there'll be things that I say, oh, that's not like fencing, therefore it's shit. And it's not that it's shit, it's that it's not like fencing. Does that make sense? And I would probably be the worst person to play that rather than the best person, because I'll moan about why it's not exactly right. Oh no, if you put your foot there and instead of here, oh, you need to be doing this with your footwork. Oh no, you should actually have your guard position here. Like, that would be annoying to watch and to play. So maybe yes and maybe no with that. But yeah, in principle, sword fighter myself. I mean, it's a lot like, sword fighting is a lot like scissors, paper, stone on a more thrown in with sprinting and chess. But, you know, you can either hit me to the head. If you're going to hit me on the head, I can block it at the top. If you're going to try and hit me on the side, I can block it on the side. On the other side, I've got my guard position, I'll block it there. So there's 3 attacks there. Are you going to go head, flank, or chest? And whichever one you go, I could block, you know, scissors, paper, stone now. For every attack, there's a defense. For every defense, there's an attack. And then the skill and the real, you know, high-end stuff is being able to throw your opponent off, make them miss by an inch, change your attack midway through to attack a different line as they move. Like, you feint, they parry, you evade it, and then you hit them. Like, those sort of movements are the nuts and bolts of what sword fighting is, essentially. So you get that right and your game will be good. But you get it wrong, you don't, you know, it won't. And the reason that sword fighting should be such an awesome experience, theoretically, it's a lot like boxing as well. You know, theoretically it should work really well on the computers, because with that limited set of attacks and defenses, you then have endless, like, because of distance and timing and the human element, you have like endless replayability. So it should be good if it's done well. I think a very difficult aspect of it would be that when you're actually fighting someone with swords, you have an instinctive feeling as to what's happening. It's not always like, you learn and you train, and then when someone starts to hit you to head, you know they're going to head before they've extended their arm, because like you've seen the, like, it's subconscious almost, like, you know. Like, you have to be able to know quickly, because otherwise you're not going to stop them hitting you on the head, are you? So, like, you see things quickly and you react quickly. And in a game, seeing that quickly and being able to react that quickly usually requires some sort of the game telling you, oh, have you seen they're going to attack over here? Oh, here's a flashing light because the baddie's going to attack. Like, if it was real life, you get hit. Like, and in games, you can avoid, you can parry, you can dodge. But in real life, you tend to get hit a lot more because it's a lot harder to evade and parry and dodge, because people are fast in their move. Like, when you're fighting someone that's good at fighting as well, you know, and that's why in fencing there's a lot of points, like 1-0, 2-0, 3-0, 3-0, 4, 3-1, 3-2, 3-4. You know, you go back and forth, you add up your points, you get hit a lot. Like, if it was real life, if fencing was real life, then you'd probably be dead after like 30 seconds of gameplay every time, because it's very dangerous fighting someone with a sword. There's none of that long drawn out, you know, clang, bang, clang, clang, bang, clang, clang, bang, back and forth, clang, bang, jump, wheel, dodge. There's none of that. There's like clang, dead. If you get that clang, it means I've parried you. Like if you're attacking me and it's gone clang, then you haven't got time to clang back when I hit you, because you're dead. If you've heard clang, I'm hitting you back by the time you thought, shit, I missed him. You know, it's yeah. So that might annoy me. But yeah. So theory, we've got Oblivion here, haven't we? Where is Oblivion? I've got No Man's Sky as well. I'm just gonna have to go from the top because I can't find Oblivion. Age of Empires 2. That should be worth a bit of fun. Obviously, it's really old, so I don't know about a stream. The other thing is I've got to think is, there's two things I've got to think to bring in a new game here. Is as a stream game, is it going to be fun for you to watch? And then the other thing, like I said, is do the people that watch my content want to watch this sort of thing as well? So it's not so much about what I feel and want to play in my free time. That's Genshin Impact. I've been playing that for ages. But some of these other games I do want to play, but whether they'll be boring or not, I don't know. And sometimes, like we did with Steve, the no pressure wash, that's good to have like a boring background game sometimes. And other times it might be that, like, you know, some might fit on different streams. But I wanted to bring in another like bigger gaming experience as well as Genshin Impact. So these are games that I've got. Double Dragon, that was, again, I bought that for 30p. It is Double Dragon as it used to be. Not particularly worth 30p maybe, but there it goes, Oblivion. So I've got it. I want to play it. I never played it. I played Skyrim, never played Oblivion. Phil's playing it. I thought what I thought to do was to start the game at the same time as him and just, you know, mirror his playthrough, so to give people an opportunity to see someone that's not an idiot. There's not an ass playing Oblivion, but yeah, we haven't quite got there. But I also think, you know, watching Phil's limited successes at streaming Oblivion again all these years later, I think it might not be, you know, it's not going to go, like he says, it's not going to go viral, but for me, it's not going to captivate the attention. How do I explain it? Like, if you start watching the Oblivion playthrough and you get invested in it and, you know, like you're enjoying it, then you might stick with it and watch me play 60 hours of Oblivion. But if you didn't, if you're not watching my stream at that month, that week when we start it, and you come in 6 weeks later, whatever it takes, like, you're going to be like, oh, I don't want to watch this. Someone's halfway through an old game. I'm not even interested. Doesn't matter who you are. Doesn't matter how much you love Oblivion. You've got to go back and watch it at the start of the playthrough to get into the, like, emotional investment of being part of a playthrough, haven't you? So shorter games work better for me, I think, because if we pick people up, great, and if we don't, it's over soon. But with this, like, Philly's now committed to playing Oblivion. He's got his core audience that are going to turn up for it, hasn't he? But he's not going to bring in anyone new with that. Like, the Oblivion crowd... How else can I explain this? How old is Oblivion? It says 2007. Like, there are kids born that are leaving university now that were born after Oblivion was released. That's an approximate guess. I didn't do the maths, but do you know what I mean? Like, young people that use the internet that are watching streamers are not looking for people playing the games their granddad played. And it's so weird to think of it like that, as people like Phil. This is one of Phil's huge failings. Huge failings. He does not understand how far the world has moved and how many, like, because he doesn't understand kids and he's never around people who have got kids and stuff like that. Like, he's still thinking in the 90s, the early 2000s frame of mind, and there are people that were born, grew up, look at that in the same way as we look at the things our grandparents did, like the same way as they look at black and white telly, in a way. And yeah, there's some nostalgia to it, and there's some, like, I'd enjoy playing Oblivion, but bringing it to a diverse and modern audience on the internet, I think its time has passed. Certainly in terms of live streams, there's still something there. You know, there's still something that the ardent enjoyer of this sort of content would enjoy, but that market is a small niche when you look at the big broad media world. And if you're going to play games on the internet, and you're going to appeal to a tiny niche, you're missing a point. You're doing something slightly wrong, in my opinion. Aren't like Phil's using clips of his Oblivion playthrough to try and, in his words, get exposure, but you don't want to expose the mass market general audience to the fact that you're doing this. They will see it as a small niche their granddad was involved in and switch it off. Like, if anything, it's bad exposure. Don't expose them to this. Like, they can be exposed to it if they want. They can buy it on the game store. They're not that interested. You can tell what's interesting because you've been through Fortnite, you've been through Minecraft, you've been through Roblox. I suppose these days you go to the store. Like, for me, it's a really interesting game that I really want to play. But for content creation, there's a different set of parameters, isn't there? Unless you can do something really good with it, really interesting. Like, I'm going to play Oblivion and I'm going to do it without looking at the map, and I'm going to be this kind of character. And unless this, you're into the modding or you're into the community aspect of it, and you can then create a video like playing Oblivion in 2023 blindfold or something. Do you know what I mean? Like, you can create something out of it, then you can do it. But just, I'm playing Oblivion, like, that time has passed. The popular and upcoming here, these are popular and upcoming games. Oblivion is not among them. And then new and trending. And I don't want to, you know, just like Phil, or no, unlike Phil does play a lot of new trending games, doesn't he? But I'm not going to be, my content is not going to be guided. Look, he's Dead Space. Phil is new and trending still. He's got a foot in all camps. But I'm not going to be beholden to this mechanic to choose my game for me, what's new and trending. But maybe not today, maybe not Second Front, maybe not Industries of Titan, but one day Roblox will be on that list, or Minecraft, or Fortnite, and no one knew it, but it became the biggest thing ever. And if you're into it and you like, you know, battle royales, and you thought that was brilliant, you played a load of them, you might have grown as a big streamer. And it, you know, you've got to do what you love, haven't you? At the end of the day, and that's a way to do that. But I suppose what I'd be looking for is something. I could look at new games, but I'd be looking at something recent, but not as old as Oblivion, really, I suppose. Oh, it's hard to know what to do. Maybe Elden Ring. I mean, I've just missed the wave with that, but, you know, maybe play Elden Ring and give myself a load of criteria. Fallout I could do with criteria, knowing that I know the game inside out, therefore I could, you know, create something out of it, create a replay for a reason. On New Vegas, I wanted to do the Legionnaires. I never was Caesar and the Legion, you know, I was always a good person, so I could replay it like that. I've got God of War, which I haven't played, but it's not recent. Like, it's kind of like just a bit too old. And then the other side of the coin, right, for me, is I've got things like How Fish is Made. Like, How Fish is Made looks to me really interesting and cool, yeah?
To earn his forgiveness. I won't make this mistake again. Oh, how wonderful, how good, this freedom of certainty.
Like, I wouldn't talk like she's talking about it, you know me.
Okay. I hope, well, we're going up. We just fucking told this guy to go down.
I think I'd be pausing and talking a lot more about it. Like, she's done a 20-minute playthrough. I think I'd turn that into a 2-hour stream and loads of talking and conversation. So a game like that is an episode for me. So I'm definitely going to be playing How Fish is Made. So maybe I'm on that angle. Maybe I'm about the weird, strange, different games. But there certainly will be. Like, Genshin Impact is not the perfect game for me as a streamer. It's a perfect game for me as a player. But as a streamer, I believe, like I said earlier, about audience and overlap. And if we can bin off... Well, we don't need to bin off anything, do we? Finding that audience overlap game that has maybe some slight nostalgia, or maybe some people didn't buy it and play it, or it's recent enough. Stray was a good one, I think. Stray was good. Or maybe I have to get into playing something on the day of release like Phil does. Certainly we've been requested the Rome thing, and I downloaded it and haven't quite, I bought it but haven't downloaded it yet. And its length and commitment, because this would be like a second game on the side stream, a couple of days a week maybe, or maybe we give it a bit more of a bash until we get through it. I don't know. Let's have a look at Hellish Court, since you mentioned it as well. Let's have a look at where it sits in the... what am I looking for? I'm looking for my wish list. It's on my wish list, isn't it? Yeah. See, it's 15 quid. Early access. And I'm a bit about early access, because does it even work? Here's a question you want to ask. The slow motion there was interesting. Look, right here we've got an issue. See, this is we're gonna have issues with me playing it. I can see the issues already. Like that attack was at the sword. This attack. See what's happening here? Yeah, they're projecting the attack because they pulled their arm back to make the attack. You would never pull your arm back to hit someone, like chop like that. You move forward to hit them, and so you can see where the sword is coming before they're even there. And they're attacking the line that's closed. They're attacking this sword, so they're not going to hit their opponent. See how they hit the sword? That's what they do on theatre. Like that's how they'll teach you to sword fight for the theatre. Attack the sword. And my opponent actually has attacked here. They've attacked the open line, but they've hit too high over the top of your head. Why have they done that? Or maybe that was a hit, but that should have been into your open line. That should have been a hit. I don't know what's going on there. Here. The one person here holding the sword to themselves. You download it for free. Oh, nice. Over here they've got the sword held close. Why would you hold the sword close to yourself? If you're going to hold that close to yourself, when their sword is close to you, you are now dead because you've held it close to yourself. You need to have some space between you and the sword to create a guard position. Otherwise, what are you guarding? You know, let them this far close to me and then I'll stop them is daft. This guy's got totally open posture, so he's not sword fighting. Like, look at the way he's crouching and swinging his sword. See how his legs have come together? He's imbalanced. He can't go backwards or forwards. So if you just use your footwork and move backwards, but again, this person that's fighting here is not in fighting footwork, so they're not able to use their footwork. At least those first two at the very start were in fencing footwork stance, guard position. This one's crossed his feet on the way in. This one's got the sword point. Look, this guy's got his sword behind his head. You see that? Why would you push your sword up and behind your head if you want to hit someone? It's like theatre fighting. You do this, by the time you've got your sword up and behind your head, you see how everything is open on your line here? Everything is open. You put your guard behind your head, so everything is open. So you'd be dead. Before you could get that swung around and hit me with it, I've pierced you in the stomach with my sword because you're dead. Like, although here, that was quite a wild swing, that wasn't it? But he's also fast enough to get back and chop the dude's legs. So this dude just doing nothing, watching my opponent swing their sword around and kill me. And here, this is a really strange example of sword fighting. You see how the distance already is that character left, they're both the same character. This person on the left is basically touching that person with the tip of their sword. Like the swords, you don't have to extend your arms or run towards each other. You can already hit each other with the swords. Sword distance involves the distance of the sword. That's what you don't want to get hit by. So you're not going to run any closer than that, are you? Because then you're going to die. Like, what are they doing? So close now that you're going to take a parry at that distance. What the fuck are you doing? And why are your legs crossed? Why have you moved forward like in that open, straight on position? So all the basics of sword fighting here are being abandoned in favour of something more theatrical, I guess. Did they grab for the blade then? You wouldn't use your hand to... You can disarm your opponent, prise de feu. It's literally prise de feu, like take the iron in French. Like you rotate your sword around their sword and you sort of force it out their hand through leverage, prise de feu. Or you can do a beat attack prise de feu where you hit their sword with yours. So they're going to try and hit you with their sword and you knock it off balance and then hit them. Because you don't have to completely defend yourself by stopping their sword. You can just prevent them from hitting you. So there are those sort of things to think about. You can't do any of that if you've already got so close that these swords could have completely severed your head. Like, what's going on? And there was a touch on the blade which looked like a prise de feu, but then it was used for nothing. Like, the fluidity of, like... it goes by so quick, it's hard to show. But you notice here, right? person on the left has put, for some reason, they're crouching down like that. I don't know what that's about. Again, like off balance, doing things that you would never do in fencing, but they've struck their arm out, which is what you would do, but you would use your legs to increase your distance there and stab your opponent. So opponent here is dead. They're not doing anything to defend this, but what they do is they strike the blade, yeah, like as they bring their arms up. So if you've struck the blade, you then want to follow through and attack. It's hard, very hard to see, but they didn't. They brought their arms up and round and up here again. You're on the way forward, I hit the blade and then I carry on into your head. I don't hit the blade and then come up and around here. Maybe it's the people controlling the characters, but the fluidity of the sword fighting, prise de feu is one move followed by an attack, 2 moves. But you would never, like, it's like the way a tennis player might serve and then run on into position in court. Like, it's part of the same thought process. It's not, I've taken your blade, that's good, let's try and, I wonder what's going to happen here. I'm in control now, I've taken your blade. So I'm about to do my thing. Like, I already know what my thing is, I'm already in the process of doing it. Here again, you see someone moving forward into, like, it looks like they're attacking this Cossack sort of person. It looks like they're moving forward to attack, but they've kept their sword up and their guard back. So, like, they put themselves in range to be hit without making the hit. If they stuck their arm out, they could hit that person on the head and kill them, yeah? If they stuck their arm out. So what you might want to do is start sticking your arm out before you get there. So you stuck them on the head. By the time you're in this distance, that sword should be on top of their head. You don't want to present yourself to be hit and then wait to see what happens, do you? Like, you'll... Look, he's had his hand cut off. Distance is the most important defense in sword fighting. If they can't hit you, they can't hit you. And none of these characters, maybe it's the controlling of them, but without being able to, like, if you think a sword fighting game is all about being able to waggle your sword around, then you fucked up the sword fighting game, because the most important thing is being able to agile, and it's unfair on a game. It's a bit like Street Fighter 2, I suppose. Like, you don't have to jump around in real life, do you? But in Street Fighter 2 you can jump and fly and everything, but the most important thing is distance. So you need to be able to get in and out quick, and that's all in your footwork. And learning your footwork is like a huge thing in combat sport. Like, having good footwork in boxing, in any combat sport, huge. But ignore it at your peril, so to speak. But I get the worrying feeling watching this game that you're not able to control your footwork in that detailed and fluid way that you would if you were just using your feet. Like, you see how straight away here again, this person's made an attack and apparently they got parried, which is ridiculous because they would have killed you, because look at the distance. Like, you can't attack into a sword in your face like that. You need to do something about it, but the distance is completely wrong. It looks a little better when they maintain some distance, but again, you've got that problem of they're both just attacking each other's blades. And I wonder whether it's an issue with, like, obviously you're going to have lives and you're going to have points in the game, aren't you, like you would in fencing. But in real life, you don't have that. You just have being dead. So you take sword fighting very seriously and do it in a very different way if you could suddenly be dead. So I think they've seen too many films and they want the sword fights to look like the pirates. Chang, chang, clang, clang, chang. That's not how it works. Real sword fights are clang dead. I said it earlier. So I think this would make me angry to play as a game. At the same time, I actually believe that it's got a VR mode, and as long as the controls are, I mean, look again, look at where the hit is made here. This person has made the hit. They're that close that they could tweak their nose, and this other person hasn't even reached their arm out to kill them. They've got their arm behind their head. They're up there. Why do you ever need your arm up behind your head when you're fighting? I do not understand. That's wrong. And this person is also crouching, which is a strange position to be in. Also, in real fencing, you only fight back and forward. You don't fight left and right, and there's not that rotation of moment. The rounds are very quick in the game. They should be. They will be, because you can't avoid it either. Like, the more realistic the simulation, the more accurate to real life sword fighting it is, the quicker the rounds will be. The meta will eventually become, like, when people get good at it, the meta will be on guard, ready, play, halt, 1-0. On guard, ready, play, halt, 2-0. On guard, ready, play, halt, you've lost. Next competitor. There's no like the reason Street Fighter 2 works is because you've got that long energy bar. Imagine if the first hit in because swords are sharp, they're dangerous, you're dead. So imagine the first hit in Street Fighter 2 kills you. Imagine that. Like how quick would games in Street Fighter 2 come out in that way? That's the problem they've got on their hands, because that's what you do in fencing. You have 15 hits, the light comes on, the referee stops it, you start again. 15 hits for a standard fight, not 3. But it's very fast. It's like tennis. It's very fast and then the point's over. Like you do get the occasional rally, and that's usually based on footwork, not blade work. You're not going to stand in front of each other and be going clang, 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 clang. No one can think that fast. Like, not unless you pre-planned it, and do you know what I mean? So what you tend to do is you have a rally where someone chases you down and you just make them miss by an inch. That was close. Now it's my turn to chase you and they're already off. And you think, fuck, they've got good footwork. I've got to catch up to them and hit them and make sure I like drive my hit home. And if I don't, they parry it and they do something. Oh shit, now I've got to run away. And like you sort of back and forth, you know, using distance and timing to try and get the edge on each other. That can happen, but this game doesn't seem to have the mobility aspect in the footwork as a predominant feature. In fact, I would make the game footwork based first before you brought the blades into it at all. Like that's how you learn fencing. You learn, on any combat sport, you learn footwork and distance first before you learn how to deal with the sword aspect. Because it's ridiculous, look. And also, they're fighting with different swords there, so that's completely ridiculous. One of them was using a rapier, and the other one was using a cutlass. So one of them is using a cutting edge weapon, which has a cutting edge, which your rapier is not going to do much about. Your rapier is a point weapon, which your cutting edge weapon is going to find difficult to deal with. So it's like playing scissors, paper, stone, but one of you's always got a stone and one of you's always got scissors. It's a bit unfair, that is, putting the two swords against each other. It would have happened in real life, you know, combat, but not in a fencing, you know, combat, and therefore not in a game where it's supposed to be equal and balanced. Otherwise, you're going to have swords that are the meta and other swords that are not, aren't you? I don't know about this grabbing the hand as well, that second-hand business. It doesn't happen in fencing, it's illegal. And the reason it doesn't happen is because if you start to do that, I will cut your hand off. Like, what are you doing putting your hand in the conflict zone? And here, you see the cross-legged? They're so close together. When you put your legs together like that and stand face on, if I push you, you can fall backwards. Like, your balance is wrong. So in this combat instance here, when they're trying to grab for the wrist, this person on the right is going to easily be able to just push them over, just by leverage and balance. They've also got their sword pointed up behind their head. So these people don't know how to fight, and it's either the game isn't letting them, or they don't know how to fight. I would argue that you let me loose on a game like this, I will be the meta, because I know how to fight with these swords. But whether the game allows me to... whether the game allows me to... And what it should do, if it's a good sim, it should allow me to translate my skills and my knowledge into victories. But it might not. I might be there saying, look, I can't move my feet. I would be quicker than this. I wouldn't have... When I try and hit them to head, they keep putting the sword behind my head for some reason. I would never put my sword... Don't animate that. There might be some glaring errors that I find angrifying. But the truth is as well, it's not a fencing simulator, is it? It's a real-life sword fighting simulator with some fencing involved, because fencing is the training for sword fighting. So I don't know how much fencing they've... Like, there's no... I'm not seeing fencing here, I'm seeing sword fighting, so there is a slight difference. The sort of difference between... trying to think of another sport where you... There aren't that many sports that are like this, actually, are there? Where you use a dangerous weapon on your opponent. Yeah, actually, now I've said all that, I'd quite like to get it and play it. There is another problem, which is controlling. Like, how do you control these things? Because like I said, my skills at fencing are footwork, blade work, timing, and distance. Like, I don't know. I'd have to. Yeah, it'd be interesting to find out how the buttons mapped and what happens and how. Whether I'd be able to control it well. In VR mode, I'd be using my feet all the time and I'd be in trouble because I'd be running into the wall. I'd need a big space to play that in. I suppose it has to happen as well, doesn't it? You know, sword fighting has to be sword fighting has to... See, they're doing it wrong. Sword fighting has to be... like, the one that annoys me most is you can see the person on the right here. You can see it when they make their hits. If you focus on their blade and watch their blade, is that their blade goes behind their head every time they make a hit. Before they do the forward action, they do a backward action. Why would... like, the most compelling one is there. As they step forward, they bring it close to themselves in against their own chest. They bring their own hand to their own chest. Why are they doing that? Like, it's all wrong. But it should happen. There should be good games that are sword fighting games. They really should. So, yeah, I look forward to it. Well, that was why I did fencing when I was a kid as well, because this is fun. So actually going and actually doing it for real is actually fun in itself as well. And it's not outside, you can just go and do that. It's not out of the world of possibility. You don't get your head cut off or killed. You wear protective equipment and then you're safe. But you can actually go and have that fun for real in an organised sport. Fencing's one of the best sports. Like, for reals. Like, boxing's good, but you get your head punched for reals. Like, in fencing, you get to, like, one-on-one fight to the death, but it's all safe. It's one of the best sports, man. It's cool. Yeah, that was an interesting little thing at the end there. So yeah, I don't know exactly what the other game is, whether I am playing Oblivion or not. I might play Oblivion, might start it off on stream. See, I feel if I start it on stream, then I'm compelled to finish it all on stream. But at the same time, I think if I wasn't compelled to, I might have played it more already, because I might have just sat down and played it a bit off stream. And I think if something interesting happens, I could do it as a video. This happened to me today in Oblivion, like make a little 15-minute thing out of it, rather than sit through a 3-hour, 4-hour stream to find that little bit of content, if that makes sense. I don't know, I might be wrong. Maybe Oblivion has this huge... because I haven't got mods for it or anything, I just want to play the raw game, but maybe Oblivion's got this huge culture behind it that I would be able to grow as a streamer playing Oblivion. I might be wrong on all that, of course. Certainly would enjoy it. It certainly looks like something I'm going to have fun doing. Like House Flipper as well. We didn't finish House Flipper at all, but I can always dip into it when I want. Doesn't matter. No one's going to be cross. I like little things like that as well. I don't know. Maybe we're just waiting for Breath of the Wild. Maybe Breath of the Wild 2 in May won't be that far away, will it? February, March, April, May. 4 months to Breath of the Wild 2, so that's going to... that will be a big part of what I want to do with my life when it comes out. So, there's that as well, yeah. And we've got Truck Simulator. I've got to buy a steering wheel. I've got to filter that in. There's loads to do. Which is why, all the more reason why, at midnight, I should say, end of stream now, try and get myself to bed, try and get some sleep, try and get up in the morning, try and get at it on stream, put in a good stream, take a break, walk the dog, go woods, come back, maybe even do a late evening stream if I feel... that's how I should be living. Shouldn't be living like I am at the moment. It's a process. It's a process. So you be good, my little Pukos. Thanks for being here. And, of course, it could be different, couldn't it? It could be different. Let me get rid of this now. Let me get rid of this. And where's my Firefox? It could be different, couldn't it? I could be doing different stuff. I don't want to... Oh, man, I don't want to be mean to this woman and her children, especially. But, like, I don't know if you see what I see here. If you think it's... Like, is there a problem here?
As long as we sing together.
You know I don't like Tootsie because you gave me COVID.
Really,
Come
Mom?
on.
If I stop eating.
Mm-hmm. But let me get those...
Oh. That's sick. Oh, I'm not... I mean, this is bad. I'm going to skip it, though. It's an advert for a charity.
All the songs she learned in school, y'all.
You gonna do Twinkle Twinkle Little Star too, or just one?
Just one. All right, you ready?
Mm-hmm.
1, 2, 3.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, LMNOP QRSTUV WXYZ. Now I know my ABCs. Next time, won't you sing with me?
All right. That was a little song. I guess in chorus, so they'll know the different pitches and all that in the class. But you didn't sing it right, so you gotta sing it over by yourself.
Mama, no.
That's not your voice.
I didn't know that's what y'all.
Parent of the year. Maybe I should do that. She's on my list. See, she's on my list now, along with. I might do parent of the year. I've got so many streams to get it out. You know, I've got so much. If you don't keep up with it, it just goes by the wayside, doesn't it? You know, the Martin Leaker stream this week or last week should have been Martin Leaker's begging, and it just went by the wayside. But I see so much on the internet. I used to be like more aggressive with my. Do you know what? As well, I'll finish by saying this about the Dark Side Field community thing. Is I used to be a bit more vitriolic and aggressive with some of my opinions. I'm less that now, but I'm more forward in speaking up almost, because sometimes in the past I'd say, I think this is bad, and then people would go, oh, you're a chuffer, shut up you. I'm like, all right, I should shut up. But here I feel like maybe the world is changing now, where it's okay to say, hang on, this ain't that good. And I'm not being a bad chuffer, like, but this ain't that good. And maybe have a bit of fun with it as well. So maybe I'm finding my way. But I could do a parent of the year, couldn't I? There's my homeschooler, the Flat Earth homeschooler. I mean, that's one of the worst things I've ever seen on the internet, Flat Earth homeschool. Yeah.
Nervous.
The thing is, what else is there to say about this? I'm glad I showed it you today, because I only discovered it today. So, what is there, else to say about it other than bloody hell? Some of them aren't that bad, I think. I don't know. Hang on, what was that? Escapes more. YouTube. Ms. Louisiana Housewife. Escapes more. What? Madison, that's your child there on the internet. Larger on the internet. He's in middle school, so he's made it. Samuel. Amber. There's a whole load of them now. Who's Amber? Now, in one way, I'll tell you what I do approve of is, like I said earlier, if you're gonna have your kids on YouTube, being part of it yourself and making it a family thing means that you're responsible for it. They're accountable to you. You're watching the edit. You're probably doing the edit. You can therefore control certain aspects of this. That's quite responsible.
We doing this YouTube thing. We cooking, we eat.
Exploiting your children, like the different. See, this is how I always have to do it, isn't it? I have to go. I'm doing the episode now. I'm just can't help it. Go down to the start. What you want to do is you want to go to the start and you want to see, why are you doing this and whose idea is it and what's going on. Meet the family.
Is your next holiday in your wardrobe? Earn extra cash with the Vinted app. Sell any clothes you no longer.
What? And I'm not going to critique this as a piece of media because it's your first video. People make interesting first videos. Meet Puerto Rican.c. Tony DeMama. And obviously, this is naive media production. I mean, it might be one of the kids has done it. Samuel. Madison. Jar Jar. And Amber. Do you know, some people might say, oh, well, strange name, Lar-Jar, but it was actually, I think Martin Luther King preached the concept that black people that were taken from Africa would have had African names, and then when they've got to America they gave them their slave names, and so you should throw off your slave names, but of course they don't know what their original African names were or would have been, so they just made up names, and it's better to have made up your own individual name, and that's why you get this, you get like I'm trying to think of some examples, like there's boxers that I know that have got names like Devin Haney, Tevin Farmer, and you think like Devin and Tevin sound like the same name, and like where did that name come from? And it comes from creating your own names from scratch because you don't want to use your slave names. So that's why like it's quite a positive thing to see these. Like, I might not be able to immediately recognise and read Lar-Jar straight off, but it's, you know, it's fair play to have your own cultural choice there. Okay, so this is just, there's food. Whoa, there was food. Florida, they're in Florida. It's just me and my baby's doing this YouTube thing. So am I to assume she's edited this? Edited by me and my babies, production designer, me and my babies. Who's done the edit? A me and my babies film. Me and my, like, she's pleased that she's got children. And she's making a video of the YouTube. Let's have a look at this.
It's me and my babies. It's me and my babies. We're doing this YouTube thing. It's me and my babies. It's me and my babies. We're doing this YouTube thing. What we doing? We cooking, we eating, we in these streets. It's me and my babies. It's me and my babies. We're doing this YouTube thing.
Like, who's decided? I need to know. I can't. Like, did the kids come to her and say, "I want to do a video on YouTube, Mom"? And she said, "All right, well, I'll join you then, and we'll do a video together." And they said, "Oh, I've got this theme tune, Mom." Or is it all Mom that's doing this? She wants to eat a big fat pile of food, a big chuffet, like a big heifer. Like, you know, I'm obese. I'm going to eat loads of YouTube. I'm going to eat loads of food. YouTube's going to pay me, and I want you to glam it up for me, kids. I want you to sort of be there to, like, you know, make it seem better. Like, otherwise, without the kids being on camera, with it just being you on your own chopping down grub, it looks really sinister because it's like you're not looking after your children properly and you're spending loads of money on food that you're cropping down. And like, as far as being obese is one thing, you know, limited household budget is possibly another. I don't know, like, it just, there's definitely a sinister connotation to sitting there and cropping yourself with food when you've got 4 kids to raise, the house to clean. Not that housewife duties are, you know, not being sexist, but these are things that have to be done, aren't they? You know, kids need to learn to read, etc.
Good. I just can't wait till we go.
Maybe it's this daughter wants to do it. You know, maybe she's the one that wants to do it, and in which case, it's, like I said, it's really healthy to do it with her and, like, you know, make a project together as a family.
Me either. I think I really gonna enjoy it.
It's been showing on the TV. Disney World and the Universal Studios. I'm gonna go so I can see how to draw.
Could have gobbing them out.
They teach you how to draw.
So here's a learning moment. I've really got to do this on Battery Exhausted. This is where it belongs, on Battery Exhausted, or maybe on my main channel. But maybe this doesn't belong on my main channel. Maybe it's not serious enough. I don't know. Anyway, look, I've got to say it now. I'm watching it. She's gobbing them out. Now, a little learning moment. If you've got something in your mouth while you're eating and it needs to... I know in Florida we do it. Okay, yeah, but in the UK, I could teach you some manners. If you've got something in your mouth while you're eating and it's got to come out and you're at the table, oh no, like, let me just... I'm only going to get some... This is what my dog was chewing the other day. So I don't really want that in my mouth, actually. So, but let's put it in there anyway. I don't know. I got that. Oh no, I'm chewing in this. What am I going to do? Dinner table. What am I going to do? Hand. Like that. You see that? See how the hand came into play? So the bit that was in my mouth, it's like magic. It's like the magician. There's the hand. It's gone. So you use your hand to cover it up so everyone doesn't have to watch you gobbing it out your mouth. On this video, the mother is gobbing it out the mouth, the child is gobbing it out the mouth, we're all gobbing it out the mouth.
Me either. I think I really gonna enjoy it.
You're lucky that she's cut off on the right hand side here.
Showing on the TV.
Look, Watch this. Gobbing it out into her hand.
Studios, I'm gonna go so I can see how to draw.
Gobbing it out, look. What's she doing? And now look at her daughter doing the same thing. So that she taught your child how to gob it out into her hand. You could have taught her a vital... Like, imagine she goes on a nice date with a boy. Like, she sat there at the table and then she gets something and just automatically just gobs it out into her hand and just chucks it on the side. Like, you know, you're not helping these people by... You know, they're your children. You need to teach them life lessons. Anyway, they're going to eat fucking loads of these crawfish. So that's their video there. They've got more subscribers than me. They're more monetized than me. So bear that in mind. You know, I need your help. This for me is in the realms, like you see with Dark Side Phil stuff as well. This is for me is in the almost worse than Dark Side Phil. Like Phil's not dragging his kids into it. He's got Jasper.
Poor little thing. You not getting Google?
What is mukbang anyway? Mukbang is supposed to just be eating your food in front of people, isn't it? But they seem to think that you have to eat loads of it. Or maybe she just does normally eat fucking loads like that, because that seemed like an excessive amount of food to be eating all at once. Maybe that just looks big because it's animals and you don't eat all the animals, just the bits you want and then throw the other bits away, which is nice for the animals. She's doing some cooking as well. Some cooking. Everything's fried, I bet. Let me have a look. Let me have a look. We've got the professional intro now. Except it's not that professional because she's obviously edited this on a phone and it's cut off the sides. And what happens, right, when Elijah starts smoking weed and, like, not that every kid would, but, you know, when Elijah starts smoking weed and going to school and shooting hoops and stuff and he's with his mates and they're like, oh, me and my babies are YouTube videos. And he's like, you know what, I don't want to do that anymore, Mom. I'm not really into doing these, like, YouTube videos with you anymore, Mom. And I'm on the intro as well. And, like, you know, I've got my own music career to think about now. So, you know, is this, like, can you take me off the intros? Like, is there going to be a conflict of interests ever? Now I flip back and forth. Here's a shot of them playing basketball. Like, that's athletic. They're out and about. That's good. I flip back and forth between this is a really good thing they're doing together, family, wholesome, cohesive, like teaching them lessons along the way, teaching them how to make it in the world, and a little bit about being exposed on the social media as well. Maybe even giving them a chance at actual stardom. Maybe getting them used to some disappointments along the way. And instead it's turned into just we're going to eat loads of food together. That's the... on the flip side... Because even in the theme tune, what we're doing, we're cooking, we're eating. So, like, she's... like, the kids can be out there running around and playing. No, like, we're not doing general family vlogs and, like, health stuff. And today it's, like, yesterday we did a big mukbang. So today we're all at the swimming pool to, like, you know, burn off some of those calories, or, do you know what I mean? Like, anything like that. And, like, we're just doing the cooking, the eating bit. Like, what do you want to do, Mom? Out there shooting hoops on the intro. Out there shooting hoops on the intro, right? Copycat Recipe, remember we're doing that one. On the intro, you're shooting hoops. None of the videos are about shooting hoops. They're all about food. So don't give me that shit. Shooting hoops on the intro. She probably got a lot of comments, right, in the early days that said, oh, this is bad, you know, unhealthy. So she did an intro that featured them out, right, you two, run over there, I'm filming it, right, that's on the intro. No one can accuse me of having unhealthy kids anymore. I made them run for the intro. Look, there's a basketball. Here's me shooting the basketball. Where are you, you chuffer? Look at her. Look at her, shooting the basketball. You can't accuse her of being unhealthy. And I'm on all the social media.
What's up, Boo Fam? It's your girl, Miss Susanna Housewife, and today, y'all...
She's got a green screen. It's not actually that bad to have the green screen. At least we can't see a mess of your kitchen, but Like, there's a thing in America. I'm going to say this out loud, and everyone's going to hate me. At least I'm not. This isn't the full episode. I'm going to jack this in. I've been doing 20 minutes since I said I was going to finish. I need to do this as a separate episode as well because I need to have fresh reactions. Now I'm actually reacting again. But in America, they like Popeyes is a restaurant, isn't it? Like, you'd call that a restaurant. It's not a restaurant. It's a burger van. But like, I've been watching a lot of Gordon Ramsay's recently, and there's a funny line. Like, in the UK, a restaurant means something specific, and like in America, it means something else. in England, if I go to a restaurant, I expect my food to be cooked fresh from fresh ingredients. In America, it quite likely has come from the freezer and gone in the fryer, and you still call that a restaurant, Popeyes Louisiana restaurant. This is not, you can't surf and turf copycat a recipe from a fast food restaurant. You can't be cooking fast food restaurant food at home as like a copycat recipe. That's not the way to go. Not when you look like that.
We're going to be doing Popeyes Surf and Turf Copycat Edition. Let me get my hands washed. Like, the whole point of fast food restaurant food is that they use cheap ingredients, mass produced, so they can churn it out, and it's churned out in factories, and then they just put it in the fryer. So doing it at home is going to be more costly, and you're not going to get the same effect. And for what? For why? It's the cheapest food on the market because it's mass produced. And you're going to say, right, the only element of it that actually is any good, the mass production side of it, making it cheap, we're going to take that element away and we're going to do it ourselves at home. So the only thing that you could do is you could say, I'm going to do this fat-free. I'm going to do just like Popeyes, but vegan. That I would be interested in. Now you're starting to add some value. But if you're just going to make it, like, I'm going to make this dog shit that I could get at a fast food restaurant in my house instead. Like, it's not that impressive. Look at this. This grease is already getting hot. I'm going to get these shrimp and this chicken and this grease, and we're going to make it do what it do. All right, y'all. All I'm doing, I got these shrimp from Walmart in a bag. I'm just opening them up a little bit more before I season.
Oh, of course, what you're doing, actually, is you're not just butterflying them for the sake of butterflying them, are you? You are opening them up because you want to remove the black vein that runs down the back. It's the organ, it's the poop organ. You remove that black line and then you wash them, don't you? To wash out the grit from inside that poop organ. And I'm vegan, I wouldn't be doing this anymore, but I know how to prepare these. That's called butterflying as well, if you cut them right open. And then the reason you do that is to give them more surface area if you're going to cook them, so you'd be breading them and frying them, I'm guessing.
And
But you got them from Walmart.
And batter the shrimp. They're already peeled and deveined. These are
they're already peeled and deveined, so you're just butterflying them then, yeah.
Shrimp from Walmart. See? And y'all want.
So at least we have got some of that factory produced, mass produced factory food, in there.
I wonder why I love Walmart so much. So convenient. All right, y'all. Now these are my chicken tenders, and what I'm gonna do.
They look surprisingly weirdly pink, like yellowy pink, like a strange pink. I haven't seen chicken like that for a while, but it's animal flesh, but it doesn't look like animal flesh. Like, you have chlorine washed chicken in America, don't you? Chlorine washed. Not everyone does, but that looks.
I'm gonna put some little marks in them. Like
some marks. Looks like you've cut right through there.
On both sides, put little marks in them.
And I think the reason Popeyes have that, my guess would be either to increase the surface area so it cooks quicker, but also it's probably because they don't have nice, clean fillets of chicken. They've probably got all chewed up bits of horrible rog, and like they just come out like that. So you're taking your chicken fillets and you're going to deep fry them.
Comes with 2, so that's what we're going to do, 2. So I'm doing enough chicken to make 3 boxes right now.
Right, again, not vegan, but your best bet here is to just quickly sear that in a pan, like, maybe let it, just a little dash of olive oil, let it cook off until it's, not pink in the middle, then you're ready. You probably don't want to be deep frying that, but look how greasy it looks, look how slimy it looks. That can't be right.
Do it just like that.
No, it already looks kind of slimy. I know raw chicken does, but...
If you don't want to cut your chicken, you don't have to cut your chicken. You got to make it your own.
And also, why aren't we cutting this on a chopping board or something? Why are we doing it all on this plate?
I just want to be a little petty. Let Popeyes know that the housewife is your competition, Popeyes. I told y'all when y'all gave me that regular ass chicken. And
suppose you don't have to wash up.
About this big, count y'all motherfucking
careful with that
days.
chickeny hand.
Okay, all right. Let's get back to it. No, I got enough for 2 boxes, y'all.
Touch them loads.
To the 6. Okay, so next
Disgusting.
we're going to go into making the dry ingredients. Y'all, so I'm gonna take this bowl and I'm gonna eyeball my food.
So you wouldn't have got them prepared before you got, like, you got your chicken out, let it sit on the side for a bit while you do your dry ingredients. You wouldn't do that
Flour, so
first, the dry stuff first. I'd have done the dry.
Put in here.
So that's me.
And then into
Flour, pepper.
I'm gonna use my seasonings into my flour.
Popeyes will use MSG as well, but there we go. There's the advert for the sick childs again. That's sad, isn't it? That is sad. Got eggs.
I mean,
not vegan.
Don't worry about it, Amber. You mind the business.
Is this right? You're making like a batter with eggs like this. You could have, because what's more likely is that what Popeyes probably do is they probably dip their chicken in the egg wash and then dip it in the breadcrumb batter. You're making like we would in England for a fish batter or something, like when it's like a wet batter.
About
milk.
2 cups of milk.
Fair enough. Not vegan. Not vegan. Look at it. It's not even. No, it's all lumpy. I suppose you could be like a tempura. Could leave loads of lumps in it, couldn't you? They'll taste the big lumps of flour.
I think it could be a little looser. What you think, Amber?
It's not about thick and loose. No, she's going to put more milk in. What it's about is it's loads of lumps of flour in there. You didn't sift the flour, I'm guessing. Put a bit more milk in it. Fuck it.
The citrus again. I'm eyeballing this. You gotta season it to your liking.
Seasoning's good, I suppose. Gordon Ramsay would be happy. Oh yeah, emotional damage. I'm look who I am. Look who I am now. Emotional damage. Uncle Roger. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Did she? Is this the chicken hands again? Are you touching all those things with your chicken hands?
These chicken tenders like that.
You're going to put them in there. Did you flour them beforehand? No. Just going straight in there, the raw chicken.
I would like this here.
Flour then after.
All right, so much for Popeyes, right? Okay, you can do that home. All right, into the grease and let me show them.
So you are basically going through the fat rigmarole. Like honestly, that is a big rigmarole for a fried piece of chicken. That's what they do on like. That's why you get them from Popeyes cheap, because you don't have to do all this messing about with the flour and all that. But in they go. Fry them. They're fried chicken now. Agreed. They are now fried chicken.
All right, y'all. Give me just a second to wash my hands so we won't cross-contaminate. And we're going to move on to them scrimps, ain't we?
I'm glad she understands the washing of the hands, but you're doing that now after you've done the... You should have done it after you handled the raw chicken, not after you touched all the utensils and stuff, but yeah.
I'm going to hit them with a little Tony Chachere's and just a little of the seasoning. That's all you're going to need.
What is seasonal?
You know, and seasoning. That's all you need for the shrimp. And then you don't complain to them, so don't.
Same setup, deep fried.
The cat version of the
Like this is a 12-minute video, and what you could have done is just said, batter and deep fry the chicken. Batter and deep. Like, who doesn't know what? I mean, maybe some people need this spelling out for them, but it's not really a cooking video, is it? It's like batter and deep fry everything, deep fried all, and now it's fried. Welcome to 1984. Surf and turf, that is. It's not actually surf and turf. Surf and turf, again, not vegan, but turf refers to a cow, because it turf like grass, and it feeds on grass. It's a cow. Chickens are not surf and turf. So what you've got there is fried shrimp and fried chicken on chips. Done at home.
Share, comment, and subscribe.
Share and comment and subscribe to that. Why would you? I'm sure there's a million. If I do like fried chicken recipe, there's going to be a million of these. There's going to look. Gordon Ramsay's got one. Why wouldn't I listen to him instead of you? Let's see the difference. Let's have a look at the difference. He's doing it in cornflakes. That's specific. Strange. Gordon Ramsay buttermilk fried chicken with sweet pickled celery. He's got his kid in it there. He's got his kid in it as well. So, I don't know what to say about that. Maybe he's watched her show. There's a lot of this though, isn't there? A lot of fried chicken. And look, let's be fair, it all looks the fucking same. No one's making it any special or better than anyone else. It's just fried chicken. Get over yourself, love. You know, all of these people who think they're special for doing this fried chicken, including Gordon Ramsay with his buttermilk, get over yourself, love. It's fried chicken. Who was that then, boxing? Mayweather choice with, yeah. So I'm not that impressed by fried chicken. That will conclude our episode today. I should have done that on the battery exhaust. There's a taste of what I will be doing on the B-side channel in the weekend of the weeks. Because like, it's a different sort of vibe. Maybe I should just do it here when I feel like it. I don't know. I don't know the answer, but it's a different sort of vibe from a gameplay stream, isn't it? I want to start making a catalogue of like, this doesn't count as a lolcow. She doesn't count as a lolcow because she's not doing idiotic things because of what people are saying in chat or anything like that. Like, she just is making, in my opinion, some quite bad decisions about her being a role model, her own health, you know, those sort of things. What's this, a collab with @CJ and Charisse? Who's CJ and Charisse? This is CJ and Charisse. It's the same channel. Isn't it, though? That's weird. They're eating all the same foods. I suppose because when you only eat like junk food like that, there's a limit. You're all eating off the damn menu, aren't you? You're not coming up with some clever... Like, you're all eating off the menu. And even when they cooked it at home, they just cooked the same thing as was out there. It's cheesesteak, it's chicken, it's crabs. It's chicken, it's wings. Weird. It's not getting hundreds of views, though, so... Like, that's understandable. But then nor am I. So that's not. Yeah, I need to do more of these sort of videos on the side. Anyway, you be good, my little puckos. Remember, if you can't be good, you're naughty.